I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you up in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Arrivederci. Buongiorno. Hola como cinco. It is I, your master. Easy.
Whoa, sorry. Went too far.
Yeah. I mean, at least you said it, not me.
That 4th of July shirt,
Very
too.
true.
The 4th of July shirt.
Bang, bang, you know what I'm saying?
You got a decorative shirt on there.
Thank you, man. It's a decorative day.
A decorative bitch told me it looked nice.
You can't introduce yourself as a master and then go 4th of July, bang, bang.
I have no comeback for that one.
Yeah.
Welcome to whatever it's like sports.com.
I'm just trying to protect your brand.
Yeah. I was trolling Lions fans like super hard today. I posted the JG interception. I was like, fucking Aaron Glenn.
Oh, yeah.
Horrendous throw. Bro, fucking boys going crazy in the comment section. He was hit. I'm starting to hear excuses I didn't even know existed.
For Jared Goff?
Yeah, they're like, Mexican aliens tilted the earth to access the night before. It's just like...
He's the savior of everything, Jared Goff. Although he did play good. There's no reason to
He did play good.
Even though you do hate Jared Goff.
I don't hate Jared Goff.
You hate Jared Goff.
I'm just a realist.
If that man would have thrown 1 touchdown instead of 2, you would be calling for his job probably.
No, I wouldn't.
You'd be calling for Hendon Hooker.
The only reason I brought it up is like it's crazy that we give Goff. By the way, we got Lucas Klotz in the building.
Shout out.
Filling in for Spinmo Rex. Healing up from his tattoo. You know, it took him a whole day to recover. Still love the guy though. Happy belated. Chris in the TD booth. JB's booth with the 1s and 2s.
Young Chase and Bacon.
Young Chase and Bacon. So won't let that one go. All right, well, let's just keep calling you that one, I guess. You can't give yourself your own nicknames. It's not how nicknames work.
I know. That's why I'm just going to keep repeating it, and then, it'll get stuck in your head, and then I'll be like, oh, easy. That's a great name you gave me.
What I was going to say, though, is the only reason I put that out there is, like, how come we have these built-in excuses all the time for, like, I don't hate him. It's going to sound like I hate him. But we have the built-in excuses for Goff. But we don't, like, recognize, like, the situation AG was dealing with as a defensive coordinator with, like, the turnovers and all that other bullshit.
As far as what, though? Like, what excuses are you saying?
So, like, AG, the fumble in the second half of the game, they only scored 7 points, the Seahawks, heading into the halftime. And then, obviously, everything else came afterward. The fumble from David Montgomery right away. You get a turnover on downs. The pick six, it also just puts you up against it, too. Like, it's... I'm not going at you. I'm just saying, like, in general, like Lions fans. You know what I'm saying? Just forget, like, that part of the game.
For me, because I agree with you, the offense did not help out the defense in any way. But we can't act like the defense didn't help itself, especially with, I think it came strictly down to coaching with Aaron Glenn making adjustments in the personnel, at least how they were lined up. Like sticking in man coverage and leaving Jerry Jacobs on DK Metcalf Island, which is what it ended up being. That's when I'm kind of like, all right, AG. For one, he's getting burned all game, and 2, you got him 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's where I'm kind of like, AG, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You can't put all the blame on that because, like you said, 2 4-and-outs, a pick 6, fumble inside the red zone as well. They weren't set up for success, but they definitely didn't help their case for success either.
Yeah, it's a complete. If I were to like, I don't know, label it any kind of way, it's just a complete team loss.
Yeah,
like everybody played their part.
Every phase besides special teams really.
Yeah.
Did not show up
Quite
how you'd want to. I mean, I don't know. The offense wasn't great, but it wasn't bad by any means. Like they still put up 30-plus points.
Turnovers just kill you, man. Like you can play phenomenal, it's just like you turn the ball over, it's not going to help you. No. What were you going to say, Chris?
I do think it is a defensive loss. I think, obviously the offense could have been perfect. You could have converted every 3rd and 4th down and, scored every possession, but that's just not realistic. To me, if you score more than 30 points on your home floor, you do not have, it's on your defense to finish that game out. Like I don't think you should have to, as an offense at home, score 40 points to win a game. I feel like that's just too much. Not saying that this offense isn't capable of it, and not saying that they didn't make some mistakes, but to me, at the end of the day, it was the defense falling short on every level.
The defense is defending a shorter field. You know what I'm saying? Like you turn the ball and it's right there in like field goal position already. You're not doing any favors for anybody.
That's a fair point.
They go hand in hand, but to Chris's point, if this happens again, that's when you start looking like, okay, AG, we get it one time, but if you keep this happening numerous and numerous times, because it happened last year now, again, with a lot less talent.
Yeah.
But now, if we see stuff from last year creeping in with there's a more talented roster, then you got to start looking the other way and be like, AG, time for you to get up in the booth for one. I think we can all agree with that.
Part, yeah.
Put AG from the sideline in the booth so he can get a full spectrum on what's going on with the game.
That all 22.
Exactly. Like, get him up there first. And then if that still doesn't work, start heating up that seat. In my opinion, it's not that time yet. I'm not calling it out. But if we see another performance or two just like this, the defense hasn't improved from last year. I'm sorry. We haven't got to the quarterback once besides Alex Anzalone.
But that's the thing. That's like the narrative. I guess I just get lost in it too, because the defense did improve like during the season last year, though. You know what I'm saying? Like they turned things around. They went from on pace to set like an all-time worst defense to end up landing, I think, like 23rd or something like that, like or 26th. Like you gotta understand, from like all-time worst to 26 is a dramatic improvement. You know?
No, and no doubt, but that's nice. But if you can't consistently do that, then you have to figure out a way that you can.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what it comes down to. It's like you've seen this team play great in spurts, especially towards the last half, and even in some of the games this year, you've seen them look really damn good during the game. But the whole art of football and sports in general is be able to do something really good consistently. And if it's not consistent, that's when you got to go like, all right, you do great for us this week, you do bad for us this week. We need to figure out something, and it might be moving away from you. And I'm not saying it's that time yet. That's not what I'm saying. But it's time to kind of pin our ears up, because last week that looked like 2022 Detroit Lions football to a T.
Yeah, turnovers included. And to the point, too, to the 31 points. Again, like 7 of Seattle's points literally came from the offense. The offense literally gave them 7 points, then requiring your offense to go and put up that 31 points to bring it into overtime. It's not like a straight 31 points were scored on you, or straight from like the start of their field. It's just like we got to observe it as it is, not just like pick like one certain guy and blame it on what I'm saying. It's collectively a team loss. But hey, moving on to Atlanta.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's Wednesday. It's hump day.
Hump day.
Time to move it on.
Yes, sir.
Because Atlanta, that's a legit team now.
Yes.
Can't get hung up.
You think so?
I think so. I don't think they're
legit as in respectable. Or
respectable team. I think Neil Rule made a great comparison. I think the Utah Utes in college football, that's how you should look at the Atlanta Falcons, where it doesn't matter who they have. They're going to be every play. They're going to be getting everything they have. And it reminds me a lot of last year's Detroit Lions team towards the second half. I think that's what this Atlanta Falcons team could be playing like. Maybe not the win-loss record, but as far as just hanging around every game and just being annoying. And if you slip up, that's a team that can kill you by 1,000 cuts. And that's what the Detroit Lions cannot let happen to them.
I hate agreeing with Neil Rule, but I absolutely agree with that take. That is absolutely like on the money. Like death by 1,000 cuts with the Atlanta Falcons, and continue to pound that ball. You know, by the way, for the Detroit Lions' sake, horrendous against like mobile quarterbacks. Exactly what Desmond Ridder is too. He can run it for you anytime.
And it's not like a mobile quarterback where it's Lamar Jackson. You look at Geno Smith last week, where it was third and there was the holding call, it was after the intentional grounding that was kind of BS if you ask me. Where Tyler Lockett ran an out route and then he threw it to the end zone. After that, it was a Geno Smith 17-yard rush, put him right back into third and manageable. They end up getting some points off that drive, and that's where Desmond Ridder. Besides Drake London on the outside, they don't have much. They got Matt Collins, okay. He embarrassed Jay Alexander, though, so you'd like to see that.
Yeah.
But they don't have a lot on the outside. So Desmond Ridder, he could be getting outside of the pocket, and that's when you're going to miss James Houston. That's where you're going to miss all these guys. So somebody's got to step up. But I do think this team is capable of doing anything pretty much besides throwing the ball down the field. But when you have Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier and Arthur Smith, they were never throwing the ball down the field regardless. So that's not how this team plays.
Yeah, they got all those like 12 personnels. Like I like Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith's one of their tight ends.
Yeah.
On top of Kyle Pitts, like there's so many other like weapons involved with that offense too. Obviously Drake London too. Like
top 5 O-line.
They get freaky. For sure.
They have a mismatch at every position. As far as skill position, you got Drake London. He's going to be bigger than any corner he goes up against man-to-man. Kyle Pitts is going to be more athletic and bigger than any linebacker or safety goes up. And then Bijan Robinson in the open field is a mismatch on anybody.
Bro, did you see that? We watched it last night.
Yeah.
3 missed tackles in a row.
And the thing is, like, when Bijan's breaking tackles, like, a lot of times the running back will get hit.
Yeah.
Kind of fall back, regain his back. Bijan gets hit, and he gains his balance in stride, and he keeps getting forward yards. Like, it's insane.
It's gross.
His hip flexibility, footwork, and just vision is off the charts. And so, I know the Lions, we talk about, they held Kansas City to low rushing yards. They held Seattle to low rushing yards, but they have not played an offensive rushing team like the Atlanta Falcons. Yet the Atlanta Falcons, without a doubt in my mind, are going to lead the NFL in rushing yards in 2023.
Oh, for sure.
That's the number one backfield. That's the number one rushing coach and the top 5 O-line. They are going to run everything through the run game. That's how you say it's a lot like the Lions.
Yeah.
Lions are obviously a little bit more talented team right now. I'd say, including with the injuries, they're still more talented. But what do? They set up the run so Jared Goff can open everything up, opens up that play action game. That's exactly what Atlanta's going to do. They just don't have as talented of a quarterback in Desmond Ridder.
Yep. And another thing too is like with Bijan, I mean, he's got that like scat back ability, but he's built like a bruiser. Like you get like he's gonna end up being one of the best running back in the league at some point.
I think in this year alone, I think it
he's up there
goes
right now too, yeah.
Christian McCaffrey then him.
I
think
agree.
at the end of the year, because you can't discount C-Mac right now, especially with the start he's off to.
Not at all. He doesn't. Well, Bijan's lined up out wide.
He is.
that was like one of the things for Gibbs. I mean, we're getting into that stuff too. Before then, though, there's some drama going on in Chicago. I don't know what's true or what's not because I've seen conflicting reports.
This is wild.
Allegedly, Hallis Hall has been raided,
Which is like their Allen Park.
Yeah.
So like if you guys, because Jordan House.
And then it sprinkled like a little more weirdness on top of it. Do you remember Peanut Tillman?
Yeah.
He's an FBI agent now, and he was the one that informed the Bears this was going on.
What is it? It's their DC, right?
Yeah,
and so
Alan
they raided Alan Williams' house
on Sunday,
and then today they raided Hallis or House, but whatever it is.
Yeah, Hallis Hall.
Oh yeah, Hallis Hall. It's got to be, and it's the FBI too.
Yeah.
So like everybody's kind of like, I was talking to Maz in the back a second ago. He's like, I don't think it's anything major.
It's the FBI, Maz. What do you mean?
If you want me to be honest, the first thing that comes to my mind
porn.
is child porn.
Yep.
Because if you're going to home, and then it's like, all right, we need to now check his work computer.
Yeah.
And he just released a statement when he stepped down. He's like, I need to focus on my health and my family. So I don't think it's anything that would be like drugs related.
Yeah.
It's going to be something trafficking wise. If you're going on the computer, it's something trafficking digitally.
Yeah. Well, I saw a conflicting report before heading onto the stage, and then in the studio, I should say. And then Ken says he didn't get raided; it was fake. I don't know.
We'll have to see more, but that's just the news going around.
Still
right now.
wild.
And not to mention, did you see what Justin Fields said before all this happened?
Yeah, going at the offensive coordinator a little bit there.
Just coaching in general.
Yeah.
Not even just the OC, but they were saying like, what do you think is really, what's preventing you from succeeding? He's like, right now, I'm just not playing me. Like, I'm worried about the analytics of things. So they're probably telling him like, hey, it's 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
You need to hit the seam route because in the NFL, that's a 60% conversion rate. Rather, if you run the ball, it's a 20. If you hit a slant, it's a 25. So Justin Fields, being the fact that he struggles with reads to begin with, he's getting that in his ear the whole time. So he's like, all right, there's a lot of pressure. We're down in the game right now. That's a 60% rate. Boom, pick. You know what I mean? Because he's just listening to that. So there could be some, like, legitimacy to it, but the fact is Justin Fields is still the one taking the snap. And if you're a field general, if you have a command of a team, you have to take it upon yourself to be like, I got to do me. So I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, it sounds like an excuse to me.
It's weird, though, because you watch Patrick Mahomes play. He's kind of like, there's no way all that shit is, like, in the game plan. The ballerina duelettes or whatever the hell you call those, like, spinneroonies he's out there doing, and they're just flicking it out, you know what I'm saying, downfield. I don't know. We'll talk about it more, because I do want to talk to you about Justin Fields.
Yeah, let's get,
you know.
I'll own up to it.
All right.
I'll own up to it.
All right. Before that, though, do I got to tell you about Big Boy, or do you got Big Boy?
No, I got Big Boy. I'll tell you. I'll tell you about Big Boy. Big Boy. The burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken? Try the Dolly chicken sandwich. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries with our chili cheese fries and our baked potato fries. Save room for dessert because we have a treat for you. Indulge in our Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake or satisfy your sweet tooth with our funnel cake fries. It's burger time. Go to Big Boy for the best burgers.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football in the brain? Fall ushers in professional college football, and this year's going to be awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports and they cover you too. Ask Mark today at 248-800-4177 or visit SwissINS.com. That's SwissINS.com.
Check it out.
Buongiorno! Leave it dirty. And so you're pulling a flannel Sam.
What is that?
He's rubbing us every time. The show
No,
starts.
flannel goes like. He's just like, I don't even know what he does. He does some flannel ass movements.
He does like some WWE shit.
He's like waiting for the applause.
Yeah. Finally,
The Undertaker
the
music.
flannel has returned for the millions.
Flannel's a character, bro.
Flannel
There's
is
no
a character.
one who makes me laugh as much as Flannel without even trying. Like, Flannel could say a completely normal sentence, not even trying to be funny, and the shit will just have me in tears for like 2-3 minutes.
I forget. He was going off about someone or on somebody in the chat today. And he,
It was Mike Bell. He said that Alvin
Yeah.
Kamara didn't do shit in his rookie season. He goes, Alvin Kamara did in his rookie. He just had to do a live rewrite after.
what the fuck? He just made like the weirdest noise.
Flannel's
Like a dying
101,
giraffe or
bro.
something. Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. Hit the like button if you haven't already. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. I'm Easy as Lucas Klotz. Lucas, what's your Twitter? What's
It's
your
Lucas Klotz, but instead of the L, there's a 1. So it's 1UKAS_Klotz on Twitter. And then on Instagram, it's just normally spelled Lucas with the 1. No, not with the 1, with an L. Lucas, LUKAS_Klotz.
They don't teach
That's
you
where they can
numbers
find
or math in
No,
Ohio,
math
huh?
is without a doubt
Yeah, you put
the weak point of my
numbers in
life.
there. We got young Chris, JB Smooth. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Be your friend, tell a friend, share the stream. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Before we jump into the Lions stuff, we got some good stuff in this beginning. By the way, fuck the Bears. Their left tackles went on IR.
Did he-
Yeah.
When they drafted out of Tennessee or no?
No, he's gonna move. He's on the right side. No, right. He's gonna move. I think it's Braxton something. Their current left tackle. Either way, he's got some type of neck injury.
Wasn't
He
doing
moved to
much.
IR. No, wasn't doing. Yeah, exactly. Wasn't doing much
They'll be
either
in
way.
the same situation.
But if people don't know, Lucas is from the 419, aka Toledo.
Shout out.
Shout out to my guy Devin99 if you're listening. But he's a big Justin Fields supporter or word.
I would say a hopeless now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any. Unless what he was saying in that interview is completely true. Yeah, I've sold all my stock. I'm a loser on Justin Fields, and I'm not afraid to admit it. There's no ground for me to stand on.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say? I mean, there was numerous times he threw a nice touchdown pass to Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
But besides that, he was just missing, like, for an NFL quarterback, elementary reads.
Yeah.
And not even just on touchdowns. Like, it was like a 3rd and 3. DJ Moore was running a 5-yard out. Nobody in the vicinity of him. And Justin Fields, his whole eyes the whole time were on the right side of the field.
Yeah.
When it's like you have DJ Moore one-on-one
Yep.
on the left with all the field to work with, and you don't look at him. So that's why that numbers thing, it might have something to do with it, but use some common fucking sense. Like, you played at Ohio State. You've played in big-time games.
Yeah.
You've had big-time receivers who demanded to get the ball. DJ Moore is that. You begged for help, and now you have it, and you're still playing the exact same.
I mean,
so I don't know what he needs.
He did try to walk it back a little bit too afterwards, saying that the reporters kind of spun his words that he was saying a little bit, saying that he was taking shots at the coach when really he's just like, hey, I fully own up to everything. If something goes wrong, I put that blame on me. I just need to play better, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird too because like he is talented. You
There's
can't
no
deny
doubt.
that. He's got like the raw abilities for sure, but like he can't play quarterback.
The game just hasn't slowed down for him. At some point, I mean, like, that's when you got, how is Brock Purdy? And I understand he's in Kyle Shanahan's system.
Yeah.
But we've seen situations. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill. How are these guys having more success than Justin Fields?
Yeah.
And it's not like Justin Fields is a dumb individual by any means. Got into Georgia out of high school. He transferred to Ohio State. Like, the man, he has a brain there. But when it comes onto the football field against Baker Mayfield, you're throwing a pick six inside your own 5 in the fourth quarter to lose the game on a screen pass. So it's just like, the screws are not all there. There's a screw here, there's a screw here, there's a screw here. None of them are tightened, and none of them are flowing together.
Do you think there's any possibility of it being coaching, or do you think he's just cooked?
I think it has to do with he's a quarterback that needed to land in a good situation. He landed in a bad situation, and now he's got a defensive-minded head coach out of Toledo. Shout out Whitmer High School, Matt Eberflus.
I know.
But either way, like bad situation with bad coaching with a quarterback that needed help and weapons to get, and the fact that he has weapons now. It's not like he didn't have weapons last year either. I mean, not immensely, but he's got a receiver now. He had a running game last year. And you still would have a running game this year if they really wanted to, but they can't get anything going because Justin Fields is being a liability, turning the ball over, and then he puts his defense in a bad position, which already sucks.
How much of the run game last year was like him, though? You know, I know they finished a lot of total yards, but we had like 1,000 yards rushing almost.
I mean, yeah, he did, but also like David Montgomery was there, Khalil Herbert was there. Like, they had a solid running game. That offensive line isn't that bad at run blocking. They're terrible in pass protection. You can be good at one thing and terrible at another, and that's what they were.
Yeah.
Like, you don't lead the NFL in rushing. You have a bad blocking run offense.
Yeah, I think it was Baldy that was breaking down his like even his drop backs was like slow pace for such like an athletic dude. He was taking like his 4-step was like I don't. There's one point. You watch Baldy on Twitter?
Yeah.
He had like
Love Baldy.
4
Baldy
seconds.
breakdowns.
Baldy's breakdowns because he's the best.
All right, now, folks,
Yeah,
we got
exactly.
Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears, and I don't know what's happening here, but let's tune in.
I just picture him in front of his computer with a fucking bag of Cheetos, pint of whiskey with Cheeto dust all over it.
Got a little thing of peanut butter with a spoon in it.
Oh, for sure. He's just breaking down some tape.
Loves it. Him and Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
They can break down some film.
Dan-
Ball knowers for sure.
Ball knowers for sure. I mean, Dan's the one who said Justin Fields MVP candidate, possibly.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't crazy to think. It was because it was like all the trajectory he was on. It's like people at that stage in the career, especially the situation is, and you're like, okay, I can see why he's doing that. And you're just gonna say that the trajectory was gonna stay the same, and if it did, now all those kind of miscues get tightened up, and they're still the exact same. Exact same. It's copy and print from last year.
It's crazy too, considering the fact they had the number 1 overall pick. Could have like restocked the quarterback position with Bryce Young, albeit. It's too early to be concerned about Bryce Young. What do you think on that one?
Yeah, it's two games into the season.
That's how I feel
You know
too.
what I mean? Like Peyton Manning went 2-14 his rookie year. Trevor Lawrence, look how bad he looked.
Yeah, I just don't like. I'm not gonna say don't like it, but I don't think it's fair to guys to start them right away. I like when a guy sits for a while and then comes in the game. Whether it's like half a season or like a full season, I just think it's better for them. If you look at like the Aaron Rodgers of the world, I was gonna say Deshaun Watson next, but he's kind of falling off the cliff a little bit there too.
Yeah, that's something.
But I just feel like Goff is one of those guys too. You see him, again, it doesn't have to be a whole season, but even like a little half season, 4 games, and then they come into the game. I feel like those guys pan out better. Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, even look, Anthony Richardson got a concussion already. Gardner Minshew looked fine when he came in.
Yeah.
And not only that, so I'm with you. I mean, when you're a number 1 overall pick, sometimes I can get it because literally there might not be another guy on that roster that could start. When you have a guy like Andy Dalton, who was just starting last year in New Orleans and had some success, he won some games.
Yeah.
Especially against these, like, for the team's sake too, it keeps Bryce Young with how small he is, it keeps him healthy, and it keeps the teams, like, keeps him in position to win. So then when Bryce Young does come in, he's got a little bit more momentum and stuff's going wrong. If he doesn't, then it's like, okay, that's your first year, so what?
Like I think I don't remember their owner's name off the top of my head real quick, but I know he's like he's kind of like our owner. Like Chad's like kind of like we want it now. We want the sex now. Let's go. But I think in NFL you can't really pace it that way, especially when it comes to like guys that have to like learn the game. Like I'd rather almost you have a shit year either way. Start Andy Dalton the first like 4 games, 5 games, and then let Bryce Young come in. I get that Bryce Young's without a doubt more talented than Andy Dalton.
Oh yeah,
but just give him some time. You got a mid-segment read we gotta do.
Lucas does.
Oh. What do we got?
Woodward.
Yeah,
Nights.
why don't you
Nights?
tell them
All
about the
right.
hottest new crew on Night Shift?
So my math isn't that well, but let's see if my English is. Are you guys looking for some high-level sports talk for your weekly nightcap? Well, featuring Booner and Broder, we have Woodward Nights, 2 of Detroit's newest up-and-coming sports personalities. Weekdays from 8 to 10, join Booner and Broder every single night to hear some of Detroit's hottest takes. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder from 8 to 10 on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in, show the fellas some support. They're staying up late nights grinding, and make sure when the CJ Gardner-Johnson news broke, guess who was there to first report it? We're on road around Woodward Nights, so make sure you guys tune in.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Rip again.
Rip
again.
Show the other quarterbacks are sad from Tom Brady sad. I don't know. I
Sad.
Yeah, but either way, the whole purpose is like the Bears passed on taking that Bryce Young to stick with Justin Fields, and now it just looks like they fucked up.
I understood that, but I would even
I did understand it, but
why trade? You have the number 1 pick. You could get anything to help Justin Fields out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have
got a haul. Could have got a haul. That's when people trying to gluck 5,000 Ryan Poles. Not Poles, but I was just like, what are you guys talking about? We just saw the pick number 3 go for multiple first-round picks.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Let's
go
get
back to
pick swap
4.
and DJ Moore.
Get Will Anderson or something. I mean, I'm happy.
Man, Texans did it.
Texans might be fucked in the future.
How do you feel about Stroud?
We talked about this on the morning show. I'm down on Fields because of how he's performing me, and Stroud's making me look even dumber. But again, it's 2 weeks into the season.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say too much, but I'm not gonna. I think, look, and I'm gonna stand by it. And this performance doesn't say it. I think his ceiling, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Jared Goff. I think that's what he's in. I think there'll be games where he can do like how he did last week, where he puts up great stats. But if you want a guy who can consistently win on primetime in big games, I don't think C.J. Stroud's that guy. That's why I would not have taken him 2nd overall. Now we're talking maybe 8th, 10th, 12th. I would have no problem.
Yeah.
But when you have a quarterback that you're expecting to win you in big games, he goes to a big school that recruits extremely well, and you don't win any. My bad. He won the Rose Bowl against Utah when JSN had 327 receiving yards.
The Utes are dangerous.
But so is that Ohio State receiving core.
The Utah's dangerous.
No, for sure. But I still think C.J. Stroud, for me, when it comes down to it, is in big games. I do not think he'll be able to step up. But let's see if he proves me wrong. And if he does, I'll admit I'm wrong.
We got breaking news. Who's pregnant?
It's not really breaking news, but just a follow-up from our intro when we were talking about the Bears and how they got raided. Ian Rappaport has come out and said the FBI has not raided Hollis Hall today. The league is not involved, and Peanut Tillman is not involved whatsoever in this matter.
I need
So
to know
just a whole smoke stream.
Yeah.
Wait, how does this even get out to this thing?
News came out and got this far, and now you're trying to walk it back and be like, oh, nope, none of that happened today. Nope.
Here's the thing I need confirmation on. First and foremost, is Peanut Tillman a fucking FBI agent? I need confirmation on that.
That would be a hell of a transition.
It would be the one of the wildest. I thought it'd be like in like accounting for like a long time. Moving on from that though, the other part, did Alan Williams' house get raided on Sunday? And I can confirm this, Alan Williams did resign as the defense coordinator for the Chicago Bears like this morning.
Yeah, Charles Tillman is an FBI agent.
Wow. Aren't FBI supposed to be like discreet? I'd be like, yo, you're fucking Peanut Tillman.
I mean, not every FBI agent. Not every FBI agent, because like only a few of them go undercover or whatever. Like a lot of people are.
Maybe he was the one undercover.
Huh?
Maybe they sent him
Not
into the
smart
Bears
enough.
facility a couple of times, and he was just a rat the whole time.
What if he's in so deep? Yeah, he just faked to be like one of the better
He got called back in his days with the Bears.
He faked to be an NFL athlete.
Just to get the ends of the Chicago
Yeah,
Bears.
because he was just. His thing was what? He would punch out fumbles?
Yeah.
So maybe he learned that in the bureau, man.
He always, I'll never forget, always guarded Calvin Johnson really well.
Yeah.
I would annoy me because he was kind of like mid against everybody else.
And that Kelvin rule happened on him.
Worked for the feds, confirmed.
Worked for the feds. Chris, you want to tell us about Lady Jane's?
I do want to tell you about Lady Jane's. If you're like me, you're looking a little rough. You may have to go to Lady Jane's. You may have to go to Lady Jane's. I was letting the beard rock for a minute, but I'm at the point now where I'm like,
that shit, man. You're looking Amish a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been calling.
Come on, man. Halloween's coming up, man.
I've been calling Abe Lincoln in the chat, so I gotta clean this up. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and register for a chance to win the trip of your dream and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. You could take me. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Wicked.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, downtown's newest sports bar. Has 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off for your first visit at 5irongolf.com. Again, it's 5irongolf.com. Tee up good times. What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I'm Easy. That's
You about to
almost
say
said
Spence
Spin
already. You're
Morax.
about to.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's that
Luke
offensive
Morax.
to.
More towards him or more towards you?
I'm gonna say if you're about to call me Spenny, I'd say me.
But I'm just like, it's just, I say it every day.
I mean, I get it.
What up, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Go easy by Spin Morax, Young Chris. Lucas Klotz, one cuss. Klotz at Twitter. Make sure you follow him. We got Young Chris. We got JB Smooth the 1-2. Ukas. Ukas.
The fuck was that?
Hey, that's a Toledo name
Cousin.
there. I don't know.
You're cousin now.
Your cousin. Your name's Ukas.
Easy.
Bijan Robinson.
Daniel.
Or Jahmyr Gibbs. Come
As
on.
in career-wise? Okay.
Say it. Say it.
Bijan Robinson.
All right.
And it's not a diss on Jahmyr Gibbs when you say that either, but at some point, as Detroit Lions fans, we have to look ourselves in the mirror. And again, this does not mean that Jahmyr Gibbs can't be an all-pro player, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, Jahmyr Gibbs is never going to get the workload that Bijan Robinson does in Atlanta. One, because of the size of Jahmyr Gibbs, and the most important part, the system that Bijan Robinson is in with Arthur Smith. So the fact that Bijan Robinson is a more gifted runner of the football with some receiving ability, and he's going to get a hell of a lot more touches. I would say at the first part of their careers, at the bare minimum, Bijan's the no-brainer. Now, that does not mean, like I said, that Jahmyr Gibbs cannot be some offensive weapon that still gets 15 touches a game. I'm not saying that, 15 to 20 even. But the plain matter is, as of right now, to say that Jahmyr Gibbs is better than Bijan Robinson, I don't think there's a hill for you to stand on. I don't know what you would have going in your way, because at the same time, Bijan Robinson also has his first receiving touchdown of the year. He got that week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that about Jahmyr Gibbs. You might be able to after this week, but even if you do, I think we're going to have a clear picture of it on Sunday. Lined up besides opposites. They're both great O-lines. Kind of defenses. Yeah. And their offense, I mean, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions, but you also have Drake London for them.
Yeah.
That's their Amon-Ra St. Brown. So there's similar situations. We'll see. But right now, you have to go with Bijan Robinson, in my opinion.
Nah, I got to go to JB because I know you're kind of like a residential homer right now. I need your answer on this one. Is it Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs for you?
It's Bijan Robinson. And I agree with everything Lucas says. Not to say that Jahmyr Gibbs is a bust or will have a terrible career here with the Lions, but he's just not the same type of back as Bijan is. Like, I'm sorry. I sent that video out to all you guys about the over-the-head camera view that they had of him doing all the jump cuts on the one run. Like, this is a different kind of back right here that you're dealing with. And honestly, I'm a little concerned for the linebackers and our defense come Sunday, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. Because the thing is that it doesn't make me nervous about the personnel that the Lions have. What makes me nervous is in order to neutralize this Falcons running game, you can't miss any tackles. Bijan Robinson is a problem of his own.
Yeah.
You let Tyler Algier on top of that start breaking tackles. That man, Tyler Algier he's a mean motherfucker when he runs the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those guys that he stiffed from Jair Alexander into the sideline from the numbers last week. Jair Alexander had a rough game, by the way. And besides that drop pick 6, which is not a good thing either, he was getting thrown around by Matt Collins and Drake London. So that's a hopeful sign. But Tyler Algier, you talk about Alex Anzalone, puts himself in position. What does he do a lot? He misses those. You can't have that this week because the defensive line presence isn't going to be there, especially on the edge. You're going to have to struggle to contain these guys to begin with. And when you do, you can't let anything happen after that, because the second level guys, I'm sorry, Kirby Joseph, great tackler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody one-on-one can tackle Bijan Robinson in the open field right now. That's just, it's setting yourself up for failure. So that's when it comes down to, again, when we talk about Aaron Glenn, it's okay to get out of what you've been running over the last couple weeks and since last season. It's okay to expand and now shift into something else, because every week your opponent has a new strength. So let's not act like this Detroit Lions team is the same as it was last week, is the same as it was leaving last season. So make some adjustments, and that's how you stop it. Come up with a good scheme and just wrap up, make the first tackle, and if not, pursuit of the ball. So after that, because they're going to break tackles, it's going to happen, but have the pursuit. So after that gain, after the yards after contact is limited.
Yeah, I think I'll say this though, and this is like a positive for Detroit Lions fans. Kenneth Walker, I feel like, is almost equally as hard to tackle. Like, he had some of the most impressive 4-yard, 2-yard runs I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would say at an elusive level, I don't even know. I would say Kenneth Walker is close.
Yeah. I think
Bijan is a different breed.
Yeah, Bijan will fall forward. I'll give him that.
It's the thing of just the simple saying, not to cut you off, there's levels.
Uh-huh.
Kenneth Walker, incredibly elusive back, and he's strong. He's powerful, explosive.
Yeah.
But everything you can say about Kenneth Walker, you can say about Bijan. And honest to God, last week against the Packers, I was watching, I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah,
like this dude's going.
You
to be
heard me last
problem.
night. I was like, ooh!
It's
it was like 3 in a row.
He looks like Ezekiel Elliott in year 2.
More elusive.
Yeah, and he's loose, like you said. Like he's not a stiff runner. Tyler Algier, powerful back, kind of a stiff runner. He's not going to make many people. He'll run through your fucking face. But Bijan will run through your fucking face, and after he does that, he'll spin out your safety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just there's levels, and just how quick he does it, how natural it is, and just. Again, I know it sounds stupid, but just his hips. His ability to plant here, but still keep his balance, even though his body's slanting 70 degrees to the right, but yet he still can move to the left just like that. It's insane.
Yeah, he's got the seamless cut. Like, I know that Jameer was faster in the 40.
Yeah.
And all the measurements, stuff like that, but like Bijan's vision and the seamless ability to cut, it makes him equally as fast.
It's like,
it doesn't lose any speed in his strides at all.
Yeah, it's like almost like C-Mac, where it's like he's got eyes in the side of his head.
Yes.
Where it's like he can see the linebacker does not even realize that Bijan sees him. Bijan sees him, and he's setting him up for 3 yards on the field so he can go, huh! And while he's doing that, he's looking at the safety. You know what I mean? It's just, the guy is just, I always say about Joe Burrow, he was born to play the quarterback position. Bijan Robinson was born to play running back in the NFL.
Yeah,
just flat
relax on Joe Burrow.
No, you can say, I'm standing by my guns with Joe Burrow. They were 0-2 last year around this time. I think it'll be very similar. You think that we can get into it later.
All right, give me Josh Jefferson for Jamar Chase.
For fantasy?
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean? You got Joe Burrow throwing the ball
one of them
to
has T. Higgins on their team as well.
I'm just saying.
Man, I'm just saying.
No, I think it's obviously Bijan. I guess like what I want to lead into, because I knew the answer would be Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
But being that, because you said it yourself, Jameer's not like a every down back. Was it a reach by Brad Holmes to grab him at 12? Sorry,
I still think it's too early to say, because at the same time people are freaking out about Jahmyr Gibbs, but this motherfucker has his whole career to play.
For sure.
He's 2 games in. And
for sure.
Well, I know you brought up the stats.
But as a first-round investment.
But this is what I'm going to say. You brought up all those stats yesterday.
Yes.
I looked again. You want to know another player? Christian McCaffrey.
Uh-huh.
He had, I'm trying to think.
So 20
touches.
It
was 22 carries through his first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was a very similar situation. They had Jonathan Stewart there. The Lions have David Montgomery there.
Uh-huh.
And then as the season went on, Christian McCaffrey became Christian McCaffrey. Against the Lions, actually, on that primetime game, he caught his first touchdown. That's when he started becoming Christian McCaffrey. So that's all it takes. It's just, I get why people are like, oh, you got to use him, you got to use him, you got to use him. Yeah, they do, and I think this is when they're going to start. They know they have to use him. They know that. But at the same time, just like pass protection, you can't leave Jahmyr. When you're down 10 in the fourth quarter, and they're sending all the guys because they just have a DB, Tariq Woolen got hurt, so now I have to apply pressure to the quarterback. No Taylor Decker. You can't leave Jahmyr Gibbs in there. He's going to get blown up. You're talking about an injury waiting to happen. Wait for a defensive end, a linebacker, to go in there and smoke Jahmyr Gibbs and pass pro, and then guess what? He'll fall into a linebacker or a lineman's knee or fall into Jared Goff's knee. Like, no. That's why Craig Reynolds was in there so much. Now, I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with it. I would kind of go like, all right, go to your quick game, dump it off to Amon-Ra, dump it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. But that's what they were doing. So that's why.
Cracker's straight. I just don't like when they involve him in like the screens. Like, come on, like, that's a Jahmyr asset. You get Jahmyr those plays.
That play when they motion Jahmyr Gibbs as a distraction, and then they throw it to Craig Reynolds, who outran his blocker. Oh my god, that's when I was like, what the fuck are we? That's when I was like, coaching. This game is coaching. This has everything to do with coaching. Now I understand there's a player on the teams. I mean, you can go down the names, but we'll leave them out. That cost the Lions a huge chunk of this game. But when it came down to it, like crucial play calling, crucial alignment, and big moments, they didn't show up.
Do you think there's an option play on Goff's part?
For which one?
That Gibbs and Randall play. You think you could have went Gibbs? Because still kind of tricking the defense by pulling all your lines the opposite way.
You could have, but that's how you set Jahmyr Gibbs out to die because he has no blockers out there.
Yeah.
All the linemen are going to the right. You're relying on your corner or your receiver basically to cover 2 people there or block 2 people. And if not, you're relying on Jahmyr Gibbs to make a man miss in the open field, which he can do.
For sure.
So, I mean, you can, but I don't know if it's necessary. You're hanging him out to dry.
You suck. Pause. You suck the defense onto the side of Craig Reynolds because obviously that's where the screen's going.
Yeah.
That leaves Jahmyr kind of like there to make a man miss, like you said.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's an option out in Goff's
The thing
part,
is, but the guy who's probably there, it's probably going to be Quandre Diggs. The backside of that. So you got Quandre Diggs with a full head of steam running at Jahmyr Gibbs.
Not fun for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Quandre Diggs looked like a demon on Sunday, bro. I was so mad when the Lions traded Quandre Diggs.
I love Quandre Diggs.
Shout out Bob Quinn. Fuck you, Bob Quinn.
Why'd you shout out Bob Quinn?
So I can tell him fuck you.
Oh, all right. Well, when we get back, I want to know Lucas's expectations for Jahmyr Gibbs against the Atlanta Falcons. Before then, I got to tell you guys about Fairway Pack Academy. Because for over 60 years, Fairway Pack has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Now, how would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway trip? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. You can do that at drinksyntron.com/Vegas or buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. It's Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best version of themselves. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas for more information.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Live on Sports.com. I'm Easy. We got Lucas, Young Chris, JB Smooth. Hit that like button, 5-star review on our podcast platforms. Lucapotamus. Did your dad call you that when you were little?
No, my dad called me strictly Luke. If I was in trouble, Luke. There was this like walking trail behind. When I lived in like this little suburb outside of Toledo before I moved to Toledo, there's like this walking trail. It's like a mile long. Probably didn't make my bed or something. I'd be walking down there. Could hear that bitch ring out from like a mile away, and I'd be sprinting back home.
Hit that like button for
Pops was nothing to fuck with, bro.
We talked about Bijan versus Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, we still like Jahmyr Gibbs. We looked at the numbers, as you said, CMC. We had a bunch of
Jamal Charles, LaShawn McCoy.
Thank you.
There's a couple of them, but yeah, either way, there's numerous examples of guys.
Kamara was the one that's driving me crazy.
Alvin Kamara, yeah.
All similar projections in the first 2 games. What are your expectations in this third game, though, for Jahmyr Gibbs?
Expectations of what I want to happen or what do I think will happen?
What do you think will happen?
We're going to see a lot more running back by committee than I think, or than what Lions fans want. Now, I still think Jahmyr Gibbs will probably get like 15, 17 touches, but where it's going to suck is where like in the end of last game where it's like 3rd down, it's like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. and we're going to see Craig Reynolds out there blocking. And that's where, if that's the fucking case, take Marvin Jones off the field and put Jahmyr Gibbs in at the slot. If that's the case. If you don't want Jahmyr Gibbs out there blocking, that's fucking fine.
Yeah.
Put him out there. Make him a playmaker. Make him the weapon that you guys said you were going to take him with at the 12th overall pick. Make him that. If the bare minimum is a distraction, Marvin Jones at this point, he's caught 1 ball this year. You know what happened after that?
Bumbo!
Now, I think with that being said, it's no disrespect to Marvin Jones, but that's just the fact that Marvin Jones knows that he needs to play better. He'll tell you that much right now. But at the same time, the Lions are 1-1. We all think they should be 2-0, but they're not. This is damn near a must-win because if you don't, you got to flip this real quick and you head into Lambeau. They're probably going to have Christian Watson back. They're probably going to have Aaron Jones back, and they just took a smack in the mouth as well against the team we're playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, we'll see a little bit less of Jahmyr Gibbs than Lions fans want, but we're still going to get a bigger dose. I think 15 to 17 touches, probably like 10, 11 rushes, 6, 7 catches.
Yeah. Led the team in catches last week.
He did, but
I'm not mistaken.
The one where he really would have made a difference when he's doing that wheel route up the sideline.
And you know, honestly, when I talked about it, like when we're not like blaming the game as a complete team loss. I think that's a situation too. You're bitching about Jahmyr Gibbs' usage or Jahmyr Gibbs, like what he can and can't do. If he catches that, we're not having that conversation. We're dick riding him because that's probably a touchdown. You know,
because we're 2 weeks into the NFL season.
Yeah, so I'm relaxed. I still think Jahmyr Gibbs do. I think he'll get freaky in the passing game. I think that's where you have to use him. I want to see a lot of stuff that Atlanta was doing, honestly, where they have like a guy, a receiver, they bring him back into like a wing back, and then they're like running some freak out of there. Like Jahmyr Gibbs is that type of weapon. You do those types of things.
Jahmyr Gibbs can do anything you want him to do besides run through a motherfucker's face, which he can do sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's a DB or a smaller linebacker, he showed you can do that against Kansas City.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. I understand what it is. You're preserving him for when you go into Dallas, week 17 of the season, and you got to worry about that defense, and you got to worry about throwing that defense off. You need a playmaker during that. And they're worried about Jahmyr Gibbs getting banged up then when you go into Baltimore, when you go into L.A. They're worried about all these things, so they're preserving him. But right now, your RB1, David Montgomery, is hurt. Your RB1 is now Jahmyr Gibbs. So let's use him like an RB1.
Yeah, or just use him in general.
Common sense.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. Besides Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's your best offensive playmaker.
Honestly, too, I feel like I'd like a little bit more Zonovan Knight action than Craig Reynolds, if I'm being honest with you.
I would too, but I think the Lions just trust everything they have with Craig Reynolds. I think they
He's been
know
there
that he
3
knows
years.
the system like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
And Zonovan Knight, talented back. He's not going to – I think Zonovan Knight's a back that's good at everything and great at nothing. Again, and I'm not trying to diss on him, but that's just the fact of the matter. What is Zonovan Knight like great at? Can't think of it. He's good at catching the ball. He's good at blocking. He's a pretty good runner. But at the same time, if you don't know the system, it's going to be harder to implement those things. He's more talented back than Craig Reynolds in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But they just don't know the system. And in a big game, this is a big game.
It is a big game.
Whether Lions fans want it not to be, or however you want to look at this game, Week 3 at home against Atlanta, a game that we thought was going to be kind of like,
yeah,
we got some nice momentum. Let's get a third one here, and then let's go into Green Bay on Thursday night and whoop their ass with all this momentum.
Yeah.
And it's not looking like that right now.
Am I wrong for being almost more concerned about the offense in this game than the defense?
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
I think I saw that the defense defend the run well last week. I know Kenneth Walker isn't Bijan Robinson, and there wasn't Tyler Algier to back him up. Maybe eventually down the line, Charbonnet becomes that for Seattle. But I see an offense that was kind of like predicated off their run. Those 4 to 5 constant, consistent yards from a David Montgomery, who's not going to be there this week. And I can't tell you that Craig Reynolds could fill that spot. I can't tell you that Jahmyr Gibbs could fill. I'm talking about between the tackles. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like the Detroit Lions love that, need that. That's why they invested in David Montgomery to begin with, the highest paid skill position player. And they drafted another running back in the first round pick. They want to pound the ball, set you up for the run, so they can run that play action. But I just don't know if we have that running back there this week to do that. I still think they're going to be able to get nasty, but I look at games last year. Anytime Jared Goff throws for more than like 25 times a game, stuff started getting a little rocky.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to be in that position with this Atlanta Falcons defense. So I've come around to respect after watching them against Green Bay last night.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Like, the offense is a little shaky. But to your point, you still
let me sprinkle a little no Big V, no Taylor Decker either now.
Is Taylor Decker out?
Yeah.
So he's going to be out.
More than likely going to be out, yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
Damn.
That's tough.
Damn.
But I still think, I mean, with how the defensive line looked, especially in the interior last week, against the best backfield in all of football right now, that's concerning. Because at the same time, they
played the run well, though.
They played the run well, but they haven't played a team like the Atlanta Falcons. the Seattle Seahawks offensive line was ran through.
Yeah.
You saw Jawan Taylor struggling with Hutch that whole game. You had to have a false start to deal with him the whole time. You have a top 5 O-line in Atlanta coming through, and they're just be running it down your fucking face the whole time. And that's the defensive line for the Lions is going to get beat up. That's why put in Isaiah Buggs, please. Please, for the love of God. I'm tired of Isaiah Buggs making social media posts saying how he's ready. The man is ready to play. Now, Benito Jones, he's ready to play, but I'm sorry. I'm tired of watching Benito Jones go out there and be ranked as the 111th out of 114 defensive tackles, and you're going to keep trotting him out there. You're going to keep trotting him out there and expect nothing to change. That is insanity. Repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Insanity. You have a guy with Isaiah Buggs, who you saw make big plays last year in Lambeau, at home against Minnesota, forced a fumble against Dalvin Cook inside their red zone. He's a difference maker. You know what else he is? We just saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson for the season. We need that energy back. Isaiah Buggs, he brings that energy back. Bring back Buggs, for the love of God. I mean, what's the worst that'll happen? Did you see Benito? Did you see Lee McNeil make a difference last week?
Rarely.
I didn't see him do anything. Did you see Levi do anything?
No, not at all.
Did you see Benito do anything?
Nope.
You see Isaiah Buggs on the sideline or at home do anything? No. So it's almost like they made the same damn impact. Let's roll the dice a little bit. Let's adjust. Detroit Lions, let's adjust. Let's make a guy that made an impact on the team last year in big games. You saw him do it. So now let's imply it again. Let's see if something works. Let's try it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the defensive line right now, both with the personnel and with injuries, is broke. I'm not panicking about this Lions defense, but I'm pointing something out that's obvious. Like, there is a problem in the interior of that defensive line. There's going to be a problem somewhere on the roster. No NFL roster is completely complete unless you're the San Francisco 49ers right now, how it looks because they've played two favorable opponents, the Dallas Cowboys. Every NFL roster has a weak link, and right now it's the Lions' interior defensive line. You have an option on the roster where you can potentially fix it. Go and do it.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
That's how it is.
Dating back to last year, I think it was like the Green Bay game on. They had a bit of team to run for, running back wise, run for like over 100 yards on the Detroit Lions. That's why I'm not that. The only thing I am concerned about when it comes to Atlanta Falcons offense, and more so, is the Bijan Robinson. And if they're able to run it successfully enough to set up Drake London, who I think is tremendously talented. And like, I don't think the world of Kyle Pitts, but I just saw Will Dissly tear up Alex Anzalone last week. So I am a little bit nervous about that too. I'm not that concerned about the run game. Just because, again, statistically, it's based on what the Detroit Lions have been. They've been kind of solid against the run. And in terms of the running back, it's been like when a quarterback breaks out and gets mobile, when they get gashed for like big like rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes had like freaking, 80 yards, 50 yards in the week one. Last week, Kenneth Walker, one of the better backs in the league. I get their offensive line's a little bit depleted too. But yeah, Atlanta Falcons, I know they have a rookie on that offensive line.
Oh, you're still talking about
Bergeron or something like that. I think their left tackle is a little bit banged up too. I have to look up their injury report. But I think we'll be able to contain their run. It's just like when they break out for the passes, is Jerry Jacobs going to be able to step up after that horrible performance last week? Is Alex Anzalone going to be able to step up after that horrible performance last week? And contain that. And not just them too, but I'm talking about also the middle linebackers anytime Desmond Ridder wants to decide to run, because he can.
I have complete faith in the secondary this week. I really do. They got smacked in the mouth. Kirby Joseph, he kind of struggled week one against the Chiefs. Played great. Played phenomenal last week. He made a bunch of crucial tackles, especially against the guy you just mentioned, Will Dissly, who's a much bigger tight end than what Kyle Pitts is as far as just pure size. Kyle Pitts is extremely athletic. But what we kind of talked about earlier, making tackles, you let Kyle Pitts breaks a tackle, that's a big game. That's a big game waiting to happen. But then you go Tracy Walker. I got faith in him. Tracy Walker has damn near 250 solo tackles in his career, so I don't worry about him breaking or missing tackles. Brian Branch, I understand he's a rookie. I'm not worried about him. Cam Sutton, you heard Cam Sutton's name once all year?
Been doing good.
If you don't hear your cornerback's name, that means he's doing a damn good job of that. I have complete confidence in Cam Sutton to stick him out on an island. To your point about Jerry Jacobs, yeah, I'm a little concerned, but I'm assuming they're going to have Cam Sutton following Drake London. So then you start looking at the wide receiver too. Mac Hollins, that's a bigger wide receiver, but as far as when you got a safety over him, are we really that worried? Because they're not going to be throwing it deep anyways, and if they do, I feel pretty confident about Kirby Joseph being back there.
I'm confident against Desmond Ritter's deep ball.
Like I'm not. If Desmond Ritter's arm is what is beating the Lions, that's a good situation.
Exactly.
But for that to happen, your point, the D line, they got to step up.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm like on the side of they're just going to get 5 yards per carry every time. But am I worried about once every drive like a 9-10 yard run, I'm like 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2. Yeah, I'm a little worried. I'm worried about once they get to that second level. It's gonna happen eventually.
They weren't there for the pass rush, but they're there for the run. I did like what they did against the run last week. But Chris, you tell us about SMA?
It's actually JB's.
Oh no, I can tell you about SMA though. The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head over to thesportsma.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Join Woodward Sports Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's an Easter market at Shed 5, and it's going to be a bash. Starting at 9:30 to the game, the Lions official tailgate is back and better than ever. The official Lions tailgate will be there with free food, drinks, and entertainment, all included. Get your tickets today by bullseyeeventgroup.com. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com. Or get some for free by direct messaging Woodward Sports Lions VIP.
Shed 5.
Shed 5. What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy, Easy, joined by my guys.
We're back.
My guy, Lucas.
We're back.
Somebody asked in Woodward Sports chat. Obviously, Luke. Hey, they hit you with a Luke, I am your father.
No, my dad wasn't. Bro, I don't even know how to describe my dad.
Is your grandpa in the military? Was he like a military dad?
No, my dad, speaking of FBI, and my grandpa's in the FBI.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So my dad though, my grandpa was super, he's in the FBI, so he's super strict.
Yeah.
My dad, he didn't fuck with that. My dad was like a problem child. So now when I was growing up, he tried to do everything in his power to make sure that I wasn't. So it was just like, I had no breathing room. Like I couldn't step. Like every time there was a creak in the house, man, I was on 10, but great father figure. He set me up. He set me up. Put some good morals in me. He did.
We got young Chris in the TV booth.
But I'm sure they're there.
JB Smooth. What was his look got to do with it, Chris? What are you into?
No, this guy Lucas said, he gave me some good morals. He set me up. I was like, I haven't seen him yet, but I'm sure they're there.
I got you.
Your mother does.
Hit the like button.
He taught me well there. I'm very respectful to mothers and grandmothers.
I was gonna say something back, but then Lucas kind of recovered with, I'm very respectful to mothers and grandmothers.
At least there's that.
Okay. Yeah.
Jeff Iafrate says, I knew Lucas was a narc.
Nah, not
Guy
that.
suspect.
Jeff is the narc. Jeff is the Peanut Tillman of the Chicago Bears here.
Jeff's gonna retire and become an FBI agent.
Pre-game show.
We talked about the defense to stop the run. My concern is a little bit of the secondary, just because I think Jerry Jacobs is suspect. Speaking of suspects, Jerry Jacobs is officially under suspicion.
After last week, it's fair. Here's the thing, though. Okay, you keep going, and then I'll respond. I get that Jerry Jacobs is getting bashed, but in what world do you expect Jerry Jacobs,
to man up on
an
DK.
undrafted free agent out of Arkansas,
to
man up DK Metcalf, a Pro Bowl wide receiver, a 6'4", built like a defensive end, wide receiver who runs a 4.35 40, and your match. I have a ton of respect for Jerry Jacobs. So when I say this stuff, it's not trying to put him down. I'm just stating the facts against a small Jerry Jacobs who has nowhere near the talent of him, and you're sticking him out on an island, and you expect that to have success. Like Jerry Jacobs, I'm sorry, again, going back to coaching, Jerry Jacobs was set up for failure. They didn't give him any. They were sticking him in straight man-to-man coverage. They weren't giving him any safety help. Why couldn't you? Because you have Tyler Lockett on the field. You have JSN on the field. Don't run man coverage then. How about that? Don't do it. And then you won't have Jerry Jacobs looking like a fucking idiot out there every play.
Do you think he was zoned that one play, though?
They were running like cover 1 man, cover 2 man, where it'd give him some, but at the same time, it's like, that's only going to do so much when you have Geno Smith, who's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. He can get it in there between, if it's cover 2 and you're running a fade on the outside, he can beat that cover 2 safety if the wide receiver has leverage on the corner. So it's just like, what are we doing here? They're set up for failure. Like that one play we were talking about when you're like Laporta, it was the play where Khalif Raymond was breaking down the seam and Laporta's on the outside.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what the Lions needed to be doing. They needed to be setting up and disguising defenses where it put Geno Smith in awkward places, and they didn't. They let their wide receivers run free the whole game.
There's that one play he's manned up in the cover in the red zone with Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, just running across her. It's like,
for a touchdown.
What do you expect to happen? Like Tyler Lockett's a burner. Jerry Jacobs is not a burner by any means, and Tyler Lockett's not a big receiver. He's still bigger than Jerry Jacobs.
Yeah, on that one box route, I feel like it was zone coverage. He was 8 yards off for I don't know what reason.
So was Cam Sutton, though. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you can, like, that's Jerry Jacobs was doing what he was coached to do.
Cam was getting killed, but Cam's more talented than Jerry.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's levels. You got to be, the way to make strengths is realizing your weaknesses.
Yeah.
So if you have that load of a secondary, but you just still have a weakness on that secondary. Again, no disrespect to Jerry Jacobs, but out of that secondary, he's definitely the weakness. Figure out how to support him. You have Brian Branch. You have a nickel corner that can help him.
Yeah.
You got a safety over top. You had C.J. Gardner-Johnson that game.
Yeah.
You had Kirby Joseph. Help them out. Those are talented players. You're running multiple DBs. Act like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me.
It was definitely a head scratcher. There's multiple ways I could take this one. I saw a couple comments on Woodward Sports Chat about Brad Holmes, or we continue talking about the DB conversation because Tracy Walker will be making a start for the Detroit Lions this week. I know you're excited to talk about that one. Where do you want to go with this?
I mean, I think that's where we just talked about, where everything we just said about how bad the Lions just played.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of injuries, everything they did was correctable. And the injuries are the biggest thing. James Houston, yeah, we're going to have to figure that one out. The Lions are going to have to figure out somebody to replace that production. But as far as C.J. Gardner-Johnson, there's not a better backup safety in the league. And I hesitate to even call him a backup because if you think Tracy Walker on every other team in the NFC North. Starter. Outside of the Packers having Jair Alexander, he would be their best DB. He would be the best DB on all the other NFC North teams right now. And the fact that the Lions can bring him off the bench, it's exactly why people that are like, oh, fuck Brad Holmes after taking Jahmyr Gibbs instead of Jalen Carter. I understand. You can be upset about that.
I want Jalen Carter.
There's every GM's going to have a miss on his resume. But this is why you love Brad Holmes, because for the mistakes that he makes as far as the Jalen Carter, he's got something up his sleeve to make you just a little bit more, I can live with that. So Tracy Walker is no doubt the one thing on this defense. It's kind of like my saving grace is why I really think we still have a legitimate shot, and in my opinion are the favorites to beating Atlanta, because what did we just say earlier? The thing with Atlanta, don't miss tackles. The defensive line is eventually going to get exposed at some point, and it's great when you have a veteran safety, and with 250 solo tackles in like 64 games, I think it was, is nuts.
Yeah.
Is nuts, especially with the defense he was playing with at that time during those games too. So I have complete trust in Tracy Walker. I think they're set up in great hands, and I not that they're not going to miss C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but as far as the production of the defense, I really don't think they're going to miss that much of a beat. Maybe besides in the interceptions, but then you got Brian Branch, you got Kirby Joseph.
Exactly.
The turnovers are where it might matter.
That's exactly where I'm at. I think we'll see a lot less turnovers, a lot less like highlight making plays, because not only can CJ just nab the ball out of the air, he could put you on the ground just as quick, just as easily. But you look at the Detroit Lions defense last year, they're able to create amount of turnovers, they're able to play respectably without Tracy and CJ GJ back there. And that's with the rookie Kirby Joseph. So we've seen them perform without a CJ GJ in the defense already. I think the only thing you're missing is the possibility of capitalizing on a little bit more underthrown balls or pressured balls or whatever you want to look at. That's the only thing I think you're missing with the replacement of Tracy Walker. If anything, maybe even a little bit better against. No, I can't say that. CJ GJ's amazing.
Yeah.
CJ GJ's amazing.
There's not a flaw in CJ Gardner-Johnson's game. Besides maybe the only thing that got in his way was himself. As much as we love CJ Gardner-Johnson, that 3rd and 15 penalty.
Yes.
Huge.
It's been alleged that's when he hurt his pec too.
Yeah, that's even crazier.
Donald
That's
Trump,
like
right?
the worst. That's like the.
I know.
The karma on top of it.
I'm just choosing not to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I did, I'd go crazy.
And here's the good thing about it is there's nothing really good to pull. It was a clean tear at least, so that's the easiest for it to heal back up. So there is a chance, and Dan Campbell said it earlier. I believe it was either earlier today or yesterday, where there's a chance he can return for the playoffs.
Yeah. late November or something like that.
Which I expect, and if anybody objects here, we all expect the Lions to be in the playoffs still, right?
Yes, I think no matter what happens, this division is easily attainable. I don't respect the Minnesota Vikings. I respect their offense. Don't respect them as an entire football team. I obviously don't respect the Chicago Bears. The Packers, different situation. I think you've seen Jordan Love come out now 2 times, put up 6 touchdowns, even though one of them was like a little shovel pass. But he's performed well, and that's without, I think, my opinion, best weapon in Christian Watson. Best receiving weapon, I should
outside
say.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones. So I think the Packers definitely be respectful. I think LaFleur is finally able to, I never really respect him as a head coach, but I think now he's able to able to flex his head coach muscles. Just because Aaron Rodgers dictated so much of what was going on there, they wasn't truly able to run the things that he wanted to do. And I think you're seeing that now too. A lot more of the freaky stuff. I mean, the shovel pass and stuff.
You like that word, freaky.
Freaky.
Use that a lot today.
I do. I have a lack of vocabulary. I'm kind of high. What? What up, though, Chris?
It's just his love for Ben Johnson coming out, because whenever he used the word freaky, it's always involving Ben. It's always involving
Give
Ben
me some
Johnson.
New words. Nasty. What do we say?
I don't know, man. It's not up to me to make you get some new words. But I do want to say the one thing about Tracy Walker. I'm agreeing with everything you guys are saying. He is a very, very good backup and a absolute luxury to have for the Lions. But I do think that we're downplaying a little bit the fact that he's coming off of an injury. Like, I think that's really a thing. I don't think you're getting the Tracy Walker 250 tackles right away. Now, he could definitely get into that, and I fully expect he will throughout the season. But to week 1, or not week 1, but his first game back, to expect him to be the Tracy Walker of old, I think is a little bit misleading. Can he be 80-85% of that? Sure.
And I think
I do think you do just got to pace yourself or temper your expectations a little bit when it comes to him.
I think to your point of as far as the athlete that he is, yeah, you can be concerned, but you can't take off the plate, the reps that he already has, the 64 starts that he already has on his plate. So he's going to know how to get him in position, and that's the best part about drafting fucking Brian Branch, who you would not have been able to get, by the way.
No,
if you took Jalen.
You would have.
You did.
The trade back was Gibbs and Laporte. I don't know why you keep bringing it up like Branch would have been a part of that.
If you take Laporte there, what are you using to trade up to get Brian Branch? You don't have any ammo.
What do you mean? They drafted Laporte.
So you take Laporte.
Used that pick.
So you take Laporte, but then they trade up. They also got a 3rd round pick in that trade too. And I don't think they got anything else out of it. I want to say.
JB, you want to look it up?
Either way,
trades.
That doesn't happen. Like, you're not getting
Branch happens.
It could, but I'm telling you, the likelihood of that happening, the trades that they were dealing, the likely goes way down. Either way, we're not talking about that right now.
Branch happens, you want to know why? Because Brad gets what he wants. In the beginning of that
you're
round.
Not wrong. You're not.
And
you know what he didn't want?
Jalen Carter. You know where he fucked up? Jalen Carter.
Too early to say that, but so far it looks like it, yes.
How concerned are you about the defensive line? Like, or I guess Brad's ability to acknowledge it too, because obviously you were blessed with Aiden with that 2nd overall pick. He kind of fell to you. Jaguars probably should have taken him there. But outside of that, you have the investment of Aleem McNeil, the investment of Levi Onwuzurike. Who else am I missing now too? Broderick Martin, who
that's another
hope could be somebody. I don't know. Yeah, I like Pascal, by the way, though. I think Pascal was a good pick by Brad too. But like, those 3 guys are literally what you need now.
Yeah.
Like, should we be concerned at this point?
But same thing. D-Mont gets hurt.
What?
Who's up next now?
For
defense, you said you worried about defensive line and Jalen Carter and that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, D-Mont gets hurt.
Who's seen Jalen Carter get hurt?
Got Craig Reynolds. Got Zonovan Knight.
What's this mean? I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were saying like they need Jalen Carter, and that's why you're saying like you look at the interior of this defensive line, like that's what you need now is Jalen Carter. You're absolutely. I took that in a different.
Well, I'm just talking like just Brad's like prospect scouting on the whole line position in general. Chris, we got to break here. Yeah. I do want to hear what you guys say. Actually. Yeah. Say it. We'll leave this cliffhanger.
It's just a quick point. Could it be with Brad Holmes? Could it be the curse of Aaron Donald? Because we've all heard the story that he was banging his table for Aaron Donald, and he was all in on that pick. Is it just that he can identify the one, but I think he's too caught up in that now, and he's looking for the Aaron Donalds all across the line rather than like just being able to generally scout the line. Could it be he's just too in love with that pick, that moment, that he's it's jaded his perspective on evaluating that position?
Can you answer that after you tell us about Planet Fitness?
I mean, I can tell you about Planet Fitness as well, too, because Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. And yes, they are still just $10 a month. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to see famous How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, Brennan Edwards, and Tim McCollum play golf with average Joes like you? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to just do that. It's Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information. Buongiorno. Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on woodwardsports.com. I'm boy Easy Joe, my guy, spin more racks.
You did it again.
I did it.
Dude.
I did it. I did good yesterday.
Stick? Oh, okay.
But stick, spin. So like when I F up, I can easily turn
Not
to
like I'm
stick.
your damn roommate.
I know, but I'm just used to saying that every day.
Hey.
Landlord.
Landlord. Yeah, shout out Easy, by the way.
Shout out.
How would you review him as a landlord, Lucas?
I'm chill.
Very chill.
We got our own bathrooms.
Oh,
it's like a perfect setup.
you know what? He fucking crossed the line the other day.
I'm
sitting there, man.
Oh.
I decided to, out of the gracious man that I am, I showed him Ted. Never saw Ted before.
Never seen Ted.
Oh, good movie, by the way. We can both agree.
It was good, yeah.
Oh, I was about to ask a question like the movie, or is this like some secret thing I don't know about? Like, I showed him Ted the other day. Like, wait a minute.
The guy that sells perks in the corner of Woodward 13.
Like, I showed him Ted the other day. Whoa.
Yeah. His dick is named Ted.
Anyways, we're sitting there. We invested ourselves into some dispo time. And I'm sitting there like, God damn, I want some ice cream. So I go in there. I went to the grocery store like two days prior. And I got those strawberry shortcake like ice cream bars. And they're coated on the outside.
Those are fire.
Yeah. Clutch
my
for dispo
fucking
time.
like I was just like, oh, I've been saving these all week for my midnight snack. Had like 2 of them. There was how many did you eat?
2.
Motherfucker ate my last 2 strawberry shortcake pops.
No, I ate the last one. Because you had one, and
you
then
said 2.
I ate 2 of them, but I ate one the other day.
Oh, so what? I didn't even know. So you didn't look at okay. Two lines crossed. The fuck is this?
It's your 2 points. Look, I replaced them.
Yeah, you made up for it. Man, you ate one of them already.
With the Oreo ones. I replaced them with the Oreo ones. I was going to replace them with the strawberry ones. They're out. I'm sorry.
You probably ate them. But you probably got them. You're like,
dude, they're gas. Those things are good as fuck.
I didn't used to like those growing up either.
They're different now. They used to be like the strawberry shortcake ones. Yeah, now they're like, I don't even know. Anyway, go ahead.
I thought that was going to be about what was in the group chat when you guys were blowing up the group chat. Like, what was that, like Thursday or Friday last week?
Oh, Saturday night?
Yeah, Saturday.
I'm a
Saturday
fucking
night.
legend for Saturday night.
Yeah.
Just know that. Just know that.
I'm a machine.
I'm a machine.
Jeff Freezy.
Did you mean to press that one?
That was a wrong drop.
Hit the like button, 5-star review on podcast platforms. I don't want to make this too long of a segment because I don't like bashing Brad Holmes. I love Brad Holmes. So it's not much, so much about bashing.
Well, we're critiquing. We're critiquing. Well, you're allowed to critique people. Give them an honest review.
Question: is there concern of his, I guess, prospect scouting of defensive linemen?
I would say no, because at the same time that the Detroit Lions defensive line in that second half of the season, which is what a lot of people are just basing the rest of this rebuild, quote unquote, you're basing off what you saw. That was the foundation, and that defensive line looked pretty damn good. And he was like, all right, whether we liked it as Lions fans or not, he saw what he thought he needed as needs. He thought we needed a tight end, thought we needed a linebacker, he thought we needed a running back. And I think now there's no way that in hell that you can hide we needed something on the interior of the defensive line. Brad Holmes is a smart man, the smartest GM in Lions history already. Proving it.
Already.
Amon Ross St. Brown, 4th round pick. Kirby Durst, 3rd. You know all the draft picks that this man has gotten. So to doubt Brad Holmes when the Detroit Lions are 1-1, they're 1-1 against they lost to a team who was in the playoffs last year, a team who I understand they lost week 1 to the LA Rams. But there's been a lot of good teams who have dropped the ball week 1. That's just what happens in the NFL sometimes. This was a playoff team, a team that was considered to be able to contend for the NFC West with the San Francisco 49ers, and we're freaking out now about them losing in overtime and now questioning Brad Holmes. Pump the fucking brakes. Like, it's all right to question it and be like, all right, why didn't we do that? But to think that now Brad's not smart enough and aware enough to go address that, man still got $19.6 million sitting in his back pocket that he keeps around the trade deadline. He still has that, and that's for a reason. So when he sees a mistake that he made, now he can fix it.
Yeah.
Will he do it on the defensive line? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know if there's names out there available.
I really not right now, but there will be. We're 2 weeks into the regular season. You really think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be 3, 4, 5, 6-0? No, they're going to lose eventually. Same thing with other teams like the Commanders. But
would you rather interior piece or edge rusher, like a fellow edge rusher? Now that Houston's gone.
Now that Houston is gone, it's close. Like, I don't think there's a wrong answer, but the fact that turnovers need to be made, I think if you were to stick somebody on the other side of Hutch that's a presence, all these hurries, he leads the NFL, he's tied with TJ Watt for leading the NFL in QB hurries, QB's pressures. Those start turning into sacks if you're able to do that. Now, you can say the same thing about a guy on the inside too, but I think where do you find a premier playmaker? It's more common to find a difference maker on the outside. But then again, where is the weakness of this Detroit Lions defensive line truly? It's on the inside. So I think both are in need, but just me personally, I would rather have an edge guy, but you can't go wrong on the inside.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm arguing in the Woodward Sports chat. They try and call David Montgomery soft or something like that. Like, if you watch that play back, him like torn around his leg was like just held wide open for an isolated shot by Quandre Diggs right to the thigh. Again. That's like a freak thing. Versus DeAndre Swift, who I love DeAndre Swift, cool with his camp, but Swift would just get hurt doing any damn thing. That was like an isolated incident where David Montgomery got hurt. It's not like a injury-prone man.
Swift would pop his shoulder out after getting tackled. Type shit. Like David Montgomery got Quandre Diggs, one of the most psycho safeties in the league, beelining his fucking thigh helmet
Straight
first. Like
isolated shot.
That would probably snap my fucking tibia in two.
Right? It literally would.
Not to mention, I probably would have broke my ankle trying to spin around out of that tackle.
You're right, though. He really could have snapped his shit in half. Like, fucking.
He was in a vulnerable ass spot. Not to mention, imagine if he hit his knee.
Yeah.
Instead of his thigh?
Little Nick Chubb action there.
Exactly like that, probably. That was, ooh. And
Yeah.
shout out to the Steelers fan, by the way, by like being like good ass sports about that. Like they were cheering him on and being like, they realize what Nick Chubb means to the Browns and how Nick Chubb's been dicking down every team in the AFC North. It's fucking crazy. It's damn near what happened to him in college too.
Yeah.
Like, you remember him getting hurt in college?
Same leg. Yeah. It's crazy too, because like you look at the offseason, these running backs are like having Zoom meetings. I don't know if that does anything, but like they're just kind of fighting for like their fucking life out here, and they get these fat contracts. Boom, season starts. Saquon Barkley goes out. Nick Chubb goes out.
Austin Eckler
goes out. It's
there's been more of them too. Like
it's a bad David Montgomery. I guess you could throw in there now too. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a position that's constantly getting hurt.
And I believe Chubbs is actually going to have a second surgery too. So
who?
Nick Chubb. He's going to have a second surgery as well. So
because I think he literally like, and I'm not trying to be funny, like tore his knee.
Yeah.
Like
it looked bad.
Dislocated everything. Like there was nothing in his knee that I think was stable after that.
Yeah.
Like when, especially your patella, like your patella is your kneecap. If you tear that, like I'm not gonna. I think this is like, those are one of those injuries that like running backs you really can't return from.
Yeah.
Except like you see Najee Harris already. He's losing his burst. Nick Chubb's already blown up that knee one time.
Yeah.
So I hope not, but they just signed Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford. He looks pretty fucking good, so they might be all right in the run game. They're definitely not going to be Kareem Hunt level. Deshaun Watson's about to suck even more now, though. I can promise you that much. Losing to fucking Kenny Pickett. How do you do that? How do you do that?
The defense. That Steelers defense was legit.
Matt Canada, we think we have problems with Lions fans at one-on-one. At one-on-one. Thank God we aren't Steelers fans.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I give the Steelers credit. It's crazy, too. Like, the two big money guys on that defense are the ones who return those touchdowns. Alex Highsmith and then T.J. Watt in the fumble recovery.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if the Detroit Lions had Alex Highsmith for Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah. So you want more of an edge rusher than
I do, but I like if they were to sign an interior guy, I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, we need somebody on the edge. How's that? Like, no, I'd take anything at this point.
Derek Brown,
oh my God, especially after what he did to Michael Thomas. You see what Michael Thomas said before Derek Brown chased his ass in the locker?
Do we have
West
that video?
Side Gang Crip? Like, bro, what are you doing, Michael
West Side Crip Gang?
You've been on the sideline hurt rehabbing for the last 2 fucking years. The last thing you are is the West Side Crip. Like, shut the... Man, that's like damn near the same thing as me saying it at this point. Damn near the same fucking... I probably have more time to devote to being a West Side Crip than Michael Thomas.
Well, dude, look at this freaking... You got the video?
Yeah, I do.
He's running away the
He's
entire
running
time.
a slant into the locker room.
He's running a slant, yeah. Bro, that shit was so funny.
That's what
he
would
was
happen.
so scared
Dude,
saying that shit. He's like, West Side Crip Gang.
He's like, oh shit. Yeah. He was expecting like Miles Sanders to come after him or Bryce Young. It was Derek Brown.
Me.
Derek Brown. That's what would happen if
55th Street.
Booner ever tried pressing me. That's what it would be like.
What, Booner? You would have ran? Like Michael Thomas?
I would know. I'm Derek Brown. I'm Derek Brown.
You're Derek Brown. Booner. Yeah, that's definitely a Booner move all day.
Talking
about shit.
Yeah. Now what? Oh shit. No. I'm kidding, boys. I'm kidding.
That's what
That is
Booner
wild,
would do.
I think he's done, by the way.
Michael Thomas. I think they have a career resurgence this year with like actual quarterback again finally. But
I don't know. Derek Carr doesn't look like an actual quarterback.
Yeah, he
there.
does.
Dude was 15 for
He looks
29 in the middle.
worse. It's crazy because like after the whole Raiders situation, he hit the Pro Bowl, whatever skills competition, however serious you want to take that. But was like zoned in, locked in, had a short like brief interview, fucking killed that. Had the actual Pro Bowl game,
Derek Carr
killed
up
that.
at the podium,
crying.
I like Derek Carr at the. I like.
I respect them guys crying. You know, it's a passion.
It is.
Go ahead. No,
but it's just like whenever it's just like a soapbox, and I'm a Derek Carr guy, but it's like every time he's trying to send like a emotional message to the fan base, knowing to like, I got you. I'm your quarterback. It's like so that when he throws a pick, you're like, damn, but he showed emotion on the podium. He's feeling what I'm feeling.
Like, is he running from mayor or something? Like, why are you crying right now? Like, I don't understand.
Taking over the Bayou.
Oh damn! 7 receptions, 55 yards. Michael Thomas, 61 against the Titans. I mean,
it's a slant god
stat
line.
Yeah, for sure. We got mid-segment read.
Yes, we do. Lucas has got to tell us about Woodward and Maine.
Woodward and Maine, also known as the Detroit Lions Insider Show. For all the inside scoop you need on your Detroit Lions, it's the Woodward and Maine Show featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and what?
I love your ad read voice. You just get
I thought you said I was doing it. Back to what I was saying. And Detroit legend T. Foster, Terry Foster, episode 2 times a week, Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. and Tuesdays 7 to 8 a.m. The most in-depth reporting and breakdown of the game, players, and all things Detroit Lions. Just go to YouTube and type Woodward Sports, and you'll see it there. Again, Sundays 8 to 9 and Tuesdays 7 to 8 a.m.
Nice.
Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm.
Once again, that's me. Customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. With 24/7 professional monitoring, you can call at any time, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work by people who have been proven to care. So call this number, 1-800.
Stay out.
That is 1-800.
Stay out now.
Call them today and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Good. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. With over 12 locations, including the new location that's now open in Whitmore Lake, Dispo was never far away. Join Woodward Sports this Friday at the Romeo location. There'll be free food, free yogurt, and bud. At Romeo. Make sure you guys for all day broadcast. Ryan Ermanni in that thing too. T-burgers. Come on, guys. You got to come through Dispo Dispensary, DISPOshops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Oh,
Jeff's in that thing? The whole everybody up there.
Bricked up with some T-Birds.
Bricked up.
You guys have a T-Bird.
T-Bird slap, dude. If you can watch on the show, I asked for your burger, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, he just didn't bring it or somebody.
He never, bro, never. You noticed that?
Never brings the extra one?
He'll bring everybody else, but for your guys' show, I'm obviously just chilling there waiting to help pack up.
Yeah.
So it'll be like Chris, JB, and then it'll be you and Spenny on the desk, and I'll just be standing there, 4 fucking burgers every time. I'm just standing there looking at him. Like, I'm the one who asked you to bring these guys the burgers in the first place.
Oh, he never brings you yours.
He never brings me mine.
Oh, we gotta change that.
Yeah, maybe he knows something about you.
Maybe.
Huh. Welcome back to RedWaysLiveWorldSports.com. Huh?
Maybe he don't mess with rats, huh?
Oh, FBI agent.
Relax over there, Shaggy.
Hit a like when you guys haven't already. How do we cover from now?
That was a good one.
This one, it's breaking news. It should be breaking news. It should be bigger news. But this guy's such a fucking warrior. I think we expect him to hit the field seal.
This is, to me, break it though.
Amon-Ra St. Brown held out of practice today. It was reported his injury is day to day. He spoke about it on his podcast. Psych, he didn't. He said, I'm not allowed to speak about it on my podcast. I'm allowed Dan Campbell to address that situation with occurring his injury. Also, let me speak a little bit more on top of that, too. Kirby Joseph out today as well, too.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Yeah,
well, then this makes me a lot less nervous about this whole situation. Especially because it's a Wednesday. Like, the fact that if they're holding all of these guys out, they're making sure, like, we got banged up on Sunday. You're going to be fucking healthy when it goes to the Sunday. The thing that does make me nervous, and it's funny that I'm going to say this right now because I find this a lot annoying, like that people are talking about as much as they are, but the fact that Amon-Ra St. Brown has a toe injury and all this talk about the turf going on, that's an injury that could easily, like, I 100% fully anticipate Amon-Ra St. Brown playing on Sunday. There's no way. I don't think he looks at the line. Like, I feel like he would be letting the Lions down in his mind if he didn't play that out there on Sunday.
Yeah.
He saw what happened when he was out against the Patriots and how they just could not get anything going.
That was rough.
And now that David Montgomery's out, I think Amon-Ra is just full go. Breaking news?
Yeah, the Rams are sending running back Cam Akers to the Minnesota Vikings for a swap of their 2026 draft pick, per Ian Rappaport.
7th-round
Good
pick.
for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. They got another Alexander Madison. Good for them.
Yeah,
their defense won't be able to. Yeah.
Worst version of Alexander Madison.
Oh, already hurt one.
And
they should be trading for defense. So keep going, Minnesota. You're doing great. Keep
Do your
doing
thing,
what you're
Minnesota.
doing. Yeah, keep doing your thing.
Keep failing.
Yeah.
What were we saying before that, though?
Kirk Cousins at Jets. I'm just kidding.
I hope that does not happen.
No?
No.
Why?
That means Caleb Williams or some other quarterback is going to the Vikings. All the Lions fans that are like, oh, send Kirk. You don't fucking want Kirk Cousins to live. If you're a Lions fan, you want Kirk Cousins in Minnesota as long as humanly possible.
That's fair.
Because if not, they're 0-2 already.
It's fair.
Who's their backup quarterback? The dude they took out of BYU. I can't remember his name.
I don't even know.
But exactly, like they have a no name. Their offense is already great because of Kirk Cousins, or not because of Kirk
Caleb
Cousins.
Williams, you could bring him back with Jordan Addison. He had Justin Jefferson on top of that.
That's what I'm saying.
OVOXO on to the next show. I might trade him for the Vikings jersey.
You don't want that.
Fuck, that would suck. But anyway, Amon-Ra St. Brown out, held out of practice today because of his toe injury. Same thing with Taylor Decker. I'll just read the whole injury report. David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Taylor Decker, Big V, Emmanuel Mosley, and Kirby Joseph all set out of practice today. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you said something about the turf and the foot.
Yeah, it's just like what I mean. You remember what happened last time when he dealt with an injury, and then they kind of held him out of the last game because he dealt with it. And the fact that it's a toe, he's a slot wide receiver for the most part. I mean, I understand he can line up on the outside, but for the most part, he's a slot guy.
Yeah.
So he's doing a lot of quick stuff with quick feet. You're doing a lot with. It sounds weird saying this. You're doing a lot with your toes.
Yeah.
You're with your balance and everything. So the fact that being on turf again, he's not playing on grass. He's got a toe injury, and he's going to have to be used a lot during this game, especially with David Montgomery out. He's probably going to be an extension of the run game even more than he already is.
Mm-hmm.
So it is definitely concerning, but I think he's definitely going to play. There's no way that the Lions or Amon-Ra St. Brown are sitting out on Sunday.
Yeah,
sitting him out.
And that's what I'm saying too. Like I know it's a story because Amon-Ra St. Brown sat out of practice, but like obviously he finished out the game. I know that doesn't usually mean anything. We've seen guys say, finish games out and then end up missing the entire next week, but he's an evil warrior, dude. And guys do out there with turf toe. I've seen Terry McLaurin, the most recent, to do it. I remember Javid Best had it for a long time here in Detroit, but that's Javid Best. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the brand new Lions. This dude's a dog. I think even out there for like the blocking sake at the wide receiver position, he's a great guy to have out there too. So I don't have any. You guys. By the way, keep in mind too. I was a guy who had the air of caution last week. Came to Taylor Decker. I was like, I don't know. That's not like he's playing. Amon-Ra's playing. Yeah. This is just a turf toe. He'll be good. The Kirby stuff. Do you notice how he was just wincing after every single tackle, every single play made?
What's Kirby's deal? What was
hip.
His hip.
He even left the game last week.
Yeah, he was. We need Kirby. I think he'll be fine. At the safety, hip's definitely concerning because especially with how Kirby Kirby just throws himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like especially when you got Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
You need Kirby Joseph. So that's concerning for sure. But again, I think this is just more precautionary. Getting everybody 100% when they're already banged up. I think both the guys are going to be playing it.
Kirby is the one that kills me. Or that's one that hurts me a little bit.
Yeah. Because you know, if Kirby ain't out there, you know who's probably coming out on the field then?
Will Harris.
If I see Will Harris against the Falcons.
No! God, please,
Aaron Glenn,
no!
I don't care if he goes out there and performs. You're on Lucas's hot seat. You do not stick Will Harris. We've seen Stephen Gilmore in the preseason. We've seen Chase Lucas in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen Will Harris in the regular season. My God, I don't know what Will Harris has ever done in his career, but I'm willing to risk Stephen Gilmore and Chase Lucas being out there over it. So, Kirby, please be healthy because I do not want to see Will Harris out on the field. Please, for the love of God. Yeah. I'd rather see Jeff Okudah back on the field than Will Harris.
I'd much rather see Stephen Gilmore. And honestly, I feel like Chase Lucas kind of can play that nickel spot anyway. Like, switch things around. Put Branch back at safety, If he knows his position, at least. I don't know.
I mean honestly,
he played it all this offseason.
Put Branch at corner, put Iffy back at safety.
Yeah.
Fucking do something. I forgot about Iffy, so Iffy would probably be on there more, but
Matt
still.
Will's a great guy. Liability. Complete liability.
The definition of a liability.
And the thing, too, with Kirby, the reason why I want to play is, like, when I think of a Desmond Ridder, I watched the game last night. Obviously, he had his first pick. And he had a situation where he threw the ball almost like 3 times, interceptable balls in the red zone. And he had the drop pick by Yair Alexander. I want Kirby to play because he's going to get himself a ball.
Kirby almost got one this week.
Yeah.
On the one to JSN, yeah. That's what I mean.
And that one could have been a pick 6, dog.
Yeah,
like that could have been gone.
Definitely could have been the Kirby.
It was a hard play though. Like you can't knock Kirby on that. Like Kirby was full extension and it still was off his fingertips. Great play. That was a touchdown saving play, especially in the point of the game it was in.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the one I'm a little bit more concerned about too, because again, turf toe. We've seen guys go out there with turf toe, with the hip. I don't know what type of extent of injury the hip is, and I know that. I mean, it does affect you. Your explosiveness, you're rotating. You know what I'm saying as a DB, that's a serious injury to have.
The hips, I think, besides your back, are the most important part of your body for football.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, if your hips are gone, you got nothing left. Your back supports everything, but your hips, you're not doing anything. Because if you're even for alignment, think down 3-point stance, you got to get up.
Yeah.
You're using your fucking hips. You know what I mean? And then all the power is coming from your lower body. It starts at your hips.
I have a conspiracy theory too that the hip injury is what took Killian out. I think that's why Killian's not the same anymore either.
Yeah. I do think that affected it, but however, we're not going down the rabbit hole of shooting Killian some blame. You know what I mean? Or shooting him some bail, rather. Like,
that's fair.
You know what I mean? Could that be true? 100%. But does that describe 7% from the floor? No, that does not.
Not making the France national team.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. It's nice to have the amount of depth this Detroit Lions team does with these injuries and still have like expectations to win. I mean, do you still have expectations to win this Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's a lot closer. I think especially with – I'm not even worried about the injuries more so than I just am about Atlanta. I don't even – besides the San Francisco 49ers, I'll even put it up against the Dallas Cowboys. The Atlanta Falcons can control the time of possession against any team in the NFL. Any team.
Yeah.
So where my worry comes is just – the defensive line worries me, but not to the point where I'm worried about losing. I'm just worried about, and Braylon kind of touched on it earlier, don't let the Detroit Lions be the reason the Atlanta Falcons offense works. If you give them extra possessions, then they're just going to rule. They're just going to be running. And now you put, to your point earlier, Jared Goff in a position where he's got to throw 25, 30 points or 30 times a game.
Yeah.
So worried a little bit more. Does that mean I still think it's like 60-40 Lions? Before I would have won like 75-25.
Yeah.
But I'm still leaning Detroit at home. Desmond Ridder on the road. It's not the same quarterback he is at home.
I'm more confident in this game for the Detroit Lions than I was the Seattle game. That's with the injuries, the Seattle situation, just because Seattle kind of owned the Lions the past 2 years. With Atlanta, I do have somewhat respect for Arthur Smith. More so, though, that offense and the way it's built is to keep the other team's quarterback off the field. And I think they'll give you a solid 21 every game the way they run things. We call Desmond Ridder point guard all the time when we're chilling. Like he's just that, and he is clean with the ball. He just threw his first interception first time like last week, but he throws them up there though. He's not the most talented thrower of the ball.
That was the key though when he started, and the same thing what the Falcons did with Jordan Love, who plays very similar to Desmond Ridder. And I'll agree with your point. You said it earlier. I said Desmond Ridder, Jordan Love, same thing. I'm gonna give Jordan Love the nod for sure right now. But if you make Desmond Ridder uncomfortable, game over.
Yeah,
that is game over.
Yep,
that's what it comes down
to.
He'll
give you the ball.
And where's going to be the best place, Lucas, to tune in to preview this Atlanta Falcons game? Come on.
Well, the best place is, of course, Jeff Iafrate, wherever he's at, has got to be the best place because they got him on everything now. The Lions pregame show with Jeff Iafrate, the Woodward Sports Lion pregame show returns for another season of Lions football. Join WSN host Jeff Iafrate with weekly special guests on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're sipping the Lions Kool-Aid or kicking and screaming same old Lions, which hopefully nobody's doing anymore, you will not want to miss the show live every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. and that runs to 11:30 a.m. and join us all season long for an action-packed Lions pregame experience on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Make sure to do it because I'm not teaching that. Make sure to tune in.
Yes, sir. Your boy will be in the booth too for home games.
Oh yeah, you will.
I'm home. You're away.
Of course.
Of course. And then speaking of course, I got to tell you guys about Mark White. Mark White. You're looking to buy or sell real estate. Mark White is the guy to go through because he offers you the guaranteed minute-by-minute listing agreement. Whether you're trying to cancel your agreement for any time, for any reason, with no penalty, Mark White's got you covered. Make sure you guys give him a call. Thank you, Tim. Shout out Tim. Give him a call at 248-290-8242 or visit him at markwhitesells.com. Again, that's 248-290-8242 or markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. With grades kindergarten through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, smaller classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, and so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go and check them out online today at academyofwarren.net.
Definitely, it's a tough situation. Losing CJ, he definitely brought a different aspect to our team. His energy, his enthusiasm is definitely going to be missed. Like I said, he's definitely a great player for us. For me, I just look at it as a great opportunity for me to come back. Considering I'm coming back from my injury, like I said, it's a special week for me. Considering the week it's the same week I tore my Achilles, so it's such a blessing for me, and I'm just looking at it just to capitalize on the opportunity right now.
Was that Jack Fox?
I don't know. I was gonna say what I was saying.
If you guys remember, Tracy Walker kind of came back from the Achilles injury like earlier than expected.
Yeah,
he's
he
built
had a
differently. Crazy recovery, and just like super hyped, just come back to the game of football.
You can
like,
see it, like
hungrier than ever.
You could see it, like he was talking about CJ getting hurt, obviously, but then he's like, you could see him start smiling. He's like, it's. And we put out a tweet. I put it out, and then we reposted it. But he was like, I was basically saying everything I already said on the show, and then Tracy,
stats. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Tracy quote tweeted, and he was like, "It's tea time. It's tea time," and you can tell that's what's going through his mind right now. Like I said, I got all the faith in Tracy, man. I'm not. Am I worried about big plays happening in this game just because of how the game went against Seattle? Yeah. But am I worried that it's going to be because of Tracy Walker? Absolutely not. Tracy Walker is probably like one of the last worries I have returning when it comes to this defense this week on Sunday.
Yep,
I'm not worried. Like, if we're worried about Tracy Walker being a liability, pull your head out of your ass and just go back. Oh, I was worried yesterday. And you know what I did to calm myself down? And you were sitting right next to me. Tracy Walker film.
Yep.
Tracy Walker. And you'll be really tackling running backs, tackling tight ends, tackling wide receivers, making a sack on a quarterback, forcing a fumble, interception of football. He does everything.
He's a starter, bro.
He's a starter.
I saw him game week, I think it was like last year, 2 years ago. I'm like, Tracy, you ready to crack him this weekend? Says a pig, pussy, pink. I was like, I don't know.
It depends.
But you sound ready, so I'll take it. I'll take it.
I've heard.
I've been told.
So I've been told. Now Tracy's a dog. I'm happy for him to like get to see the field, and not that he hasn't. And if he has, I'm sorry that I haven't noticed. But like you said, he can be a difference maker. And if not, he's just reliable, regardless, no matter what. You can rely on Tracy Walker to be Tracy Walker and solid at the safety spot.
He doesn't. And the thing is, they're not going to be asking him to do anything he hasn't done before. It's not like he's coming in and playing a new role. Like, no, all he's doing, lacing up the cleats.
Yep.
Get back on that field and hit some motherfuckers. That's what he's done his whole life.
Exactly.
So what he's going to be doing now. And now he's got even more help than when he was playing before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was Quandre here when we had Tracy?
Yeah.
Maybe for like a little bit.
Tracy here for a little bit. Yeah.
For a little bit. So I'm Quandre.
He's got Brian Branch.
Yeah, but
now
now he's got Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. So now he's going to be doing the same role and not being have to do as much. So Tracy Walker, and Chris, you did have a very valid point. Like coming off a torn Achilles for anybody, it's tough to rehab from, tough to come back and be the same player. But the fact that he has more help around him, we could see Tracy Walker potentially be the exact same, or maybe just a little even better as far as where his strengths are.
And if you pay attention to like the interviews and conversations he had during the offseason, he's been like the big bro, the vet in that situation too. So like he knows the tendencies that he's helped teach these guys surrounding him in that secondary. I think Tracy is the best situation you have. I mean, GQ was on yesterday, and he was like, I thought he was gonna get traded this offseason because like he's got a new contract, and you're kind of just paying him to be a backup at this point. Well, it worked out for Detroit Lions. They kept him.
Thank God.
Thank God. And to be honest with you, like coming back from Achilles is tough. I think more so when you look at like the running back positions, I think like situations like that, I think it's a lot more.
Well, think you're backpedaling as a DB.
Yeah, that's true.
You're on the back of your feet, and the thing supporting your ankles there is your fucking Achilles.
That's
you know
fair.
What I mean?
But safety. I mean, you would know better than me. But I feel like you're kind of chilling there before you make your first move, your first read.
Yeah, for sure. But then once you get going, like think about backpedaling, and now you got to run forward. Like you're planning, like you're sticking your foot in the fucking ground, and you're putting all of your weight and all of your momentum on your ankles. And again, it's not saying like receiver, quarterback, whatever, running back, but just DB, man.
Yeah.
You ain't got no fucking feet.
And you got to, I mean,
it's a tutty. Especially as a safety. It's a tutty. You're the last line of defense. It's a tutty.
He had the benefit of like sitting out these first 2 weeks too, so I think it's like, a little bit more.
Yeah, and he's still been practicing. You know what I mean? He's still been out there. He had a good preseason.
Yes.
So I think Tracy's gonna hit the ground running.
Least guy I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
I'm more worried. You want me to be really honest right now?
Yeah.
I am more worried about Kirby Joseph than I am Tracy Walker.
Because of the hip?
Because of the hip and just the way that Kirby Joseph plays. Like, he can...
Violent?
Not even violent, but...
Loosey-goosey.
Kirby's like
he's loosey-goosey out there.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's got some Trayvon Diggs in him a little bit, where he's just... He makes a ton of plays, but sometimes when he tries to make a play, he creates a play for the other team. Sometimes, obviously not at a consistent level, but there's times where
I know exactly what you're talking about. I will say it was his rookie year though. When that shit was going on, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So maybe we'll see. I'm not that concerned about stopping Atlanta so much. I'm more concerned, I guess, on the opposite side of the ball because Atlanta's defense has looked somewhat respectable. I guess I'll have to go back and watch that tape today too because Bakhtiari was out for the Packers. Maybe that was a part of it.
They lost Eldon Jenkins too. Oh, by the way, Jordan Love, his first career interception it was against?
Who?
Who caught it?
Who?
Tracy Walker.
Tracy Walker? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First start, Jordan Love I was at the game too. Went into Detroit with Devontae Adams, and he lost. He lost, and the Packers were like 3-13-1 that year.
Yeah.
But it was a long time ago, so Jordan Love's obviously gotten better since that point.
Last game of the season, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I guess I'm more a little bit concerned about. Did you hear Jeff Okudah might be able to play this week too? He's back at practice last week. Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so. I hope so too.
Jameer Gibbs catches a little swing round.
Listen,
it's Jeff Okudah and Jameer Gibbs on the outside.
And don't get me wrong, I kind of like Cash, hanging around the Woodward Sports Chat. Atlanta Falcons fans kind of, joining us this week to troll us. New perspective, and he's kind of like a little pet keeper out, And he's got,
there you go. It's all right, Cash. It's all right. You got
Cash. Because Cash don't know.
Got him.
Cash and these Atlanta fans are hyping up Jeff Okudah like he's gonna go in there and he's gonna be like elite.
You talk about torn Achilles.
Yeah.
There's one of them.
Look, and I like Jeff, and I think Jeff was like serviceable, but he was never more than that.
He would have been, and this is the role that he's in with the Falcons right now. He's a solid cornerback too.
Yes.
But then again, there are times where that man is barbecue chicken.
Yep.
He's cooking them up. He was a liability sometimes. He looked like Jerry Jacobs against Seattle last year.
Yeah.
And he was pressed on DK Metcalf. Like they were in his fucking grill, and he was getting worked.
Does their defense concern you at all,
Atlanta's? Not concerning, but if that's a defense for sure, where if you go in there like, oh, it's the Atlanta Falcons defense. Well, yeah, now they have Jesse Bates, Pro Bowler. AJ
Terrell, the only one.
Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
You could say what you want about Bud Dupree, but solid-ass fucking defensive end. And Calais Campbell, that's a big motherfucker to have on the edge with no Taylor Decker.
We wanted him here.
One. Exactly.
We wanted him here.
They have guys. They might not be elite playmakers, although I would say AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates are.
Yes.
But they have guys. They got some dudes now. They got some dudes, those Falcons.
I guess if I were to be concerned with the defense, it had to be a combination of Amon-Ra St. Brown's toe in that secondary. But without that, I'm not really concerned. I mean, you have Josh Reynolds, who kind of was in purgatory before coming back here with Ben Johnson. I mean, Ben Johnson's him. He's gonna make anyone look nice.
I think what it all just comes down to, and it's nothing outside of what the Detroit Lions have wanted Jared Goff to do. This defense is not good. They're not bad. They're solid. They're solid. Just take what's given to you.
Yeah.
Just take what's given to you. I understand there's injuries, but Jared Goff, if you want to get that contract, this is a huge game where you can show your value. Where it's like, yeah, I understand there's a lot of shit going on around here.
Yeah.
But you still have me. You still have Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's still banged up. But you still got me. You got Sam Laporta, who's got to get him the ball. Me. Just get your guys the ball. Jared Goff's already impressed me so far with the way that Josh Reynolds has been producing. That shows in itself the fact that Jared Goff, he doesn't care if it's the best wide receiver not getting the ball. Jared Goff's going to take what's given to him, and that's what you got to do against Atlanta because, like we said earlier, death by 1,000 cuts. Those cuts start coming right when you start creating turnovers, creating mismatches for the other team. So just take what's given to you, man.
Chris?
Am I wrong to say that I feel like this is also a trap game, kind of like Seattle was for Detroit, but flip the script and it's actually in favor of Detroit? Because I think Atlanta is a team that, and I'm probably the highest on the show of Atlanta, but this is a team that, it is 2-0. They etched out a win in Green Bay. They're feeling themselves a little bit. They're coming to Detroit, a team that just lost their home opener in the most hyped season in decades for them. They got a very bitter taste in their mouth, and Seattle was looked at coming into that week as a team that should lose. Like Detroit was looking at that team And Spencer was on this show. He was in your chair, Lucas, and he was talking about
my chair. It's my chair.
He was talking about 31-17. Like he was talking very choppy.
Yep.
And just like Seattle probably was going into that game against the Rams. Who do they got on their roster? Absolutely nobody. Like, you know, that's kind of so I feel like it's a trap game for Atlanta. Atlanta hasn't experienced that downfall yet that Detroit just experienced last week. So I'm looking at this game and I'm feeling very confident, not only in just the talent that Detroit has, but just the situation, because it is any given Sunday, and a lot of that context, like Easy says, matters.
There's no trap game after the type of loss you had to Seattle last week. There's absolutely no such thing as a trap game.
He's saying for Atlanta, is it a trap game? Atlanta 2-0.
Yeah.
They just beat an NFC North opponent that I'm sure some Atlanta fans, especially players in that organization, are still like, yeah, the Packers are better than Lions. It's the Lions. So Chris, I was thinking that earlier, but at the same time, I think there's just too much hype coming into the season about the Detroit Lions. You saw them beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's not like they got dog walked by the Seahawks. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it could be. I think for Atlanta fans, yes, it could be a trap game. For Atlanta players, no. I think they know what they have on that roster, and they know what Detroit has on that roster, and what the players on Detroit's roster have done, especially just last season. They're both in the NFC, so they see it.
There are 3, maybe 4 2-0 teams that nobody who knows ball respects in the league right now. And they're all in the NFC South.
Yep.
The Saints, the Falcons, and the Buccaneers. If we want to add a fourth, maybe the Washington Commanders, but I kind of like what they got going on over there.
Offensively, for sure. Even defensively. Man.
Defensively, exactly.
Yeah,
so I'll leave them out. But the 3 teams you don't, are the teams that ushered in the only team under 500 in the playoffs last year. It's the NFC South. Ain't nobody worry about them.
Well, let me tell you what to do when we're going to be smoking on that NFC South pack this weekend, and you can do so with Glorious Cannabis. Just in time for football, they are dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called the Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years.
Is it a smoky, gassive strain?
It is gassy. It is aggressive. Just like Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Use the code Woodward Glorious, or find them at www.gloriouscanna.com.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan's grown and family-owned, has everything. Bad boy mowers, tractors, handhelds, and even weed whippers. Liberty trailers and generic generators, snow X plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it, or finance it. Deliver it to your doorstep. They'll do just that at OutdoorEquipmentCo.com.
Check it out.
Check it out.
This thing loves to freeze.
All right, this thing was in there. I had a back and forth with a Twitter guy. I think it was this past weekend. It started with I don't even remember. It's a Michigan guy. You know how Michigan fans are. They're kind of oblivious to reality anyway. Yeah. But they were just kind of on the JJ train. Fucking Guck 5000.
Heisman, he's gonna be in New York. He's gonna be the first player taken in the draft. Yeah.
I love you, Ryan. It wasn't Ryan, but I brought up Shedeur. I was like, I don't even know if he's gonna go before Shedeur. I put it in the prep sheet today. I let him know because Lucas knows ball. Would you rather have Shedeur Sanders or JJ McCarthy as your franchise quarterback?
And what pick are we doing this with?
You're at.
Either way, it wouldn't even matter.
7.
I think
pick
because
4.
at the end of the day, draft pick doesn't matter. I would rather have. Are we basing just from these 2 weeks that we've seen?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Shedeur for the main fact. I think he has more poise in the pocket, and I think he's more intelligent with the decisions he makes.
Yes.
Because I understand he has Travis Hunter, and he has this and that, but he still does not have the weapons that Michigan does. He doesn't have the defense that Michigan does. And I know he's playing against Colorado State, but he still put up, damn near fucking 50 points against TCU.
Yeah.
Nebraska, same thing. Like
TCU team that Michigan lost to.
I mean, no, it's not the same team, but it's still like the fact that he could do that with what's around him
on TCU's field.
And I can't really recall Shedeur Sanders making a mistake, and he's sneaky mobile too.
Yeah.
I think JJ McCarthy's a guy that could potentially run himself into trouble. If that makes sense. I think JJ's way more talented.
He often runs himself into trouble. We saw it in the TCU game. We saw it last week against freaking Bowling Green.
Against fucking shout out 419.
He's talented, but like he does dumb shit.
He runs himself into trouble. I think, and that's why when you just really look around the landscape of the NFL, there's talented quarterbacks out there, but the ones that usually have the most success are the ones that can read defenses the best, use their mobility when they have to, not rely on their mobility, and just make safe, smart decisions. And it's not like Shedeur is just strictly like a point guard. Like the man has an arm.
Yes.
He has, like, as far as mobility-wise,
beautiful ball.
Geno Smith mobility, where it's just in Seattle, I'm saying. He's not going to have all that. But he has a mobility when if there's a play, the pocket breaks down. Go back and watch his film at Jackson State. Man has 50, 60-yard rushing touchdowns. Like, he has the mobility. He just doesn't always have to use it because he can go through his reads and make the right progressions. That's all it is.
Yeah, I got Shedeur, too. I guess there's an argument that JJ's more talented because I think he's a better runner.
Think it's talent-wise. I don't think it's close. I mean, it's not, and that's not just. But I just think again, there's levels to it.
Yeah.
I think JJ's just a more naturally gifted quarterback.
Yes. Shedeur's just like he's smart out there. He's making executive decisions. I mean, his nickname. They're talking about it all weekend last week. I was up to 3 o'clock watching the game. His nickname was Grown as a kid, and he's obviously mentored by Tom Brady. You can see as such too. Like he literally just digests the play. Breaks it down, just hits the open guy every single time. If he has to go deep, he has the arm to go deep too. And it's the prettiest deep ball. The way he floats the thing just over the linebackers and in between the safeties, like
touch.
Yeah, it's literally just it's a nasty touch. Sure, it's gonna be nasty. I'm excited to see him in the pros.
I think the only thing that will take down Shedeur, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but the one thing that's stopping him is for all of this like hype and kind of fame and just this Shedeur and Travis Hunter train getting to his head. Yeah. Like it's funny, like as stupid as it sounds,
I can see that.
There was a clip of he was doing a podcast. It was him, Deion, Tom Brady, and a couple other guys.
Yeah.
And Deion asked him, he's like, Shedeur, he's been wanting this Rolls Royce. What do you think about that, Tom? And Tom goes, you need to stop fucking thinking about the Rolls Royce and get your head in that film room and worry about everything. That, as simple as it sounds, is what will make or break Shedeur.
Yes.
And I think for any fucking college quarterback that's making the amount of money that he probably is in NIL, the publicity that he has, it's probably hard not to go out there and buy a Rolls Royce. Like, have all these things at your attention. But the more things that Shedeur allows him, and any quarterback coming out of the draft, that allows him to distract him and take his mind off football, well, there's one more guy that's not doing that. He might not even be as talented as you, but just in that one decision, you have now left yourself open for a guy outworking you. And that's, as long as Shedeur doesn't get outworked, I think he's locked for NFL and to have success just because how poised he is.
JB?
Oh, I'm taking Shedeur Sanders all day. Like, I like JJ, and I think he'll do fine at the next level, but I think as far as he will go is probably a backup QB. There's just something about his intangibles, as Lucas was saying, on the field that it just doesn't stand out to me a lot. So I think he'll do well in the NFL, just not starting QB material and not number 1 overall material.
In New York.
Yeah, chill. chill with that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Warren Sapp's going to be the coach there next year, too?
Yeah, defensive line coach next year? Yeah.
That's going to be something. They're going to recruit the fuck out of everybody.
Bro,
they're not every Jalen Carter, every Bijan Robinson, they're going to want to go play there.
Bryce Underwood, or I think he's thinking about going over there too. The kid from.
He's from around here, isn't he?
Yep. Who's Dante Moore? I think he's visited them too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he's already at UCLA, isn't he?
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
He's starting at UCLA.
Oh,
He's
okay.
tearing that shit up too. Pause.
Either way, they're gonna be sick, and I think another thing too. I mean, they bring him. That's another piece, like, because I think they need some big body defensive guy. Obviously, the defense kind of ass right now for Colorado. I'm not gonna lie, but I think anything that helps you at any levels of accuracy, I think Shedeur has it over JJ.
Yeah, but I don't know, and that's not saying that Shedeur isn't, but I mean, there's been a couple of throws that I've seen from JJ. I'm like, ooh. Like, they're like 30-yard across the hash to the opposite side, and tink, like that one to Roman Wilson against Eastern Carolina. It might have been UNLV. But JJ's definitely made some NFL throws, but he's also doing it against cream puffs with a juggernaut of recruiting class around him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm excited to see. I was making sure I'm not crazy, guys. I was kind of going in.
You know, speaking of the Falcons, and I know Spenny said this too, Shedeur to Atlanta. That'd be
perfect for
them. We're prime too.
Yeah.
Playing with the Falcons.
But actually, get an accurate stage at every level. I mean, JG, that's his bread and butter. Desmond Ridder, bread and butter. But with that being said, I'm not used to closing out shows. So for myself, Lucas.
Thank you for having me. Spenny will be back tomorrow.
What's the Twitter one more time?
Lucas, but instead of with an L, it's UKAS_Klotz. I'll be posting on there a lot more. I already have been, but
yeah, you've been killing it.
Yeah.
Young Chris,
the real
crispy bacon, JB Smooth. Oh, we out this motherfucker. I'm done.
Peace.